you. You're the queen of my heart. Please don't deceive me when I hurt you. Just say it the way it seems. Can you feel my love buzz? Can you feel my love buzz? Can you feel my love buzz? Can you feel my love buzz?
All life was created in its present form 7,000 years ago by a fantastical creature from outer space! Bunk!
The paradigm of absolute control. And that's why we're just out here doing simple things, pointing out that we're meant to be in nature and be natural, and this is where we find the source that God made to transcend the New World Order. And that's why they want to try to keep us out of it.
I'm angry. I've had enough of these people. They're a bunch of Christian murderers scum. They're on giant death factories keeping babies alive. They're selling their body parts. What more do you need to know about these people? I go out and face these scum. They literally crawl out from under rocks. They have green looking skin and they run around screaming, we love Satan, we wanna eat babies. I have them on video. Hillary's in the creepy weird sick stuff man. She sleeps in the same room with that creepy weird woman whose mother wears a hood over her head. What the hell? That woman number one is ugly. Imagine how bad she smells, man. I'm told her and Obama just stink. Obama and Hillary both smell like sulfur. Literal vampire pot and the goblins are hobbling round coming after us. My spirit gets close to that evil and I feel it go. We're such self-centered crap. We don't even notice and itself rising up against us. Millions of pointed people of the very worst type, and I'm so pissed. We're gonna stab your daughter at the mall. We're gonna stab your wife, your son. We're gonna stab you with a butcher knife, and then the police chief is gonna say, we love our Somalis, we love our Muslims. Oh, they're so good, oh, they're so sweet.
I was watching Fox News as I worked out this
Good morning, my beauties and bees. Where are my vampire... That's kind of bright. Hold on. Ooh, there we go. Now it's kind of dark, but we'll kind of see if we can find a balance. I got like blinds here. Anyway, good morning. Look at this one a little bit. Yeah, that's some soft light. There we go. That's what Bree's looking for. Some mellow light for the early morning. Good morning, my literal vampire potbelly goblins. Hope you're hobbling around out there doing great. Good morning. Oh, this isn't... Shot my fit. This isn't the top. It's a whole ass dress. A whole ass dress. Ooh. Get a little further away than that. There we go. Whole ass dress. Aunt Jer, I think we've been going about that all wrong. Right now the treat stream does still just have like breakfast and coffee stuff on it, but what I need to do is to focus it more towards lunch stuff, because the time that it opens and then by the time stuff gets delivered, it's lunchtime. And the last thing I want to do is spend the whole morning. Yeah, it's the treat stream. You can actually send me real coffee, but a lot of places don't open until for another half an hour. Which means that I don't have... So I've been ordering my coffee in the morning like I used to, because what I need to do is switch it to lunch so y'all can buy me lunch instead of breakfast stuff, because that is more likely to be when my food's going to be delivered closer to lunchtime. Anyway. Yeah, oh my gosh. Good morning, everybody. Let me say hi to everybody, because there's a whole bunch of beautiful faces out there. Sandy's here, and the Apostate Sisters are here. We got Rainbow Ash. We got Scott Owens. Look at the trees is in the house. Ember has showed up. Yes, good to see ya. Yeah, John Hudson's here. Hello, good morning, John. Dee is here. Welcome. Aunt Jer has decided to join us this morning. I'm dropping the links for the buy me or for the treat stream. Yeah, good morning, everybody. Yeah, it's such a pretty dress. Oh yeah, I wanted to show you all something too. Like because you probably can't hear me. There's two of these, but because I'll be going to Roswell this July. I did get the alien vodka, and this decanter was on sale. I got this whole thing for like $25. Yeah, but it comes with little alien head shot glasses too. Super cute. But I wanted to show you guys that. No, I'm not a big drinker usually. I guess I'm more of a drinker now than I've been in the past. But yesterday I drank a 4 shots of that from that alien head, and it put me down for the count. It's just pretty basic plain vodka, but there's gonna be more alien stuff coming up for sure. I always try to keep my polls like set up so that there's always an alien on there too. There's certain oh shoot, that's not what I wanted to do. There's certain stuff that I want to make sure is always available on the poll to choose from. You all love freaking aliens. Y'all love aliens and ghosts as much as cryptids, so we cover quite a bit of those too. But speaking of what you guys love, why don't we go to the polls? Do y'all want to go to the polls and see what's up? What's up for this week? Let's do it, because we only got a couple minutes left. All right. Good morning. Hello, everybody. Let's see. So we'll do no, not that. We're not there yet. Gosh darn it to heck. There we go. We'll use that one. And then we'll do this, because we need to... Yeah. Okay, so yeah, here's my feed. You gotta go past all my hilarious memes that I post. If you all want to follow hilarious memes, this is where you go to follow them. There's also some intriguing ones, but here was the polls for this week for Cryptic Corner. Pulling up the tail end was the Beast of Busco, this giant snapping turtle lake monster cryptid from Indiana. In second place were the Yeti and the Urine, which are some Asian ape men, the abominable snowman, the OGs, if you will, because OGs is what you scream when you see this big monster barreling down the hill at you with its fist raised. Then we had our newcomer on the list, which was the Immortal Count, which if you don't know who that is, who Saint Germain is, we're going to break that down for you soon. And then we had the Lady in White, or White Lady, La Lorna, however you want to describe her. It's an international phenomena, and that's what we're breaking into today. And then when we're done with that, we move on down to our Week in Weird, where we have Charming the Serpents, where we're going to talk about snake charming and how it's done metaphysically. We're going to talk about the metaphysics of snake charming, of course. You got sky trumpets, which was something I discussed a little bit with the apostate sisters. That's Nancy and Patty. Now, if you haven't seen my interview with them, it was was that last week? Anyway, yeah, if you haven't seen it, go watch it, because we had so much fun talking about biblical cryptids. So go check that out. But we had the sky trumpets on here, and then the Knights of Tartaria was actually in the lead for a long time this week. But you know what won over? The accursed strings. And because the accursed strings won over, when I get to that segment, I got my guitar right here. So we're gonna strum a little bit while we watch and listen to some accursed guitar stuff. There's the Cryptic Corner alarm. Hell yeah. That means it's time to Cryptic Corner. But are you guys ready to Cryptic Corner? Now, like I said, I had made an updated intro for Cryptic Corner. So I'm kind of like trying to lean away from the AI art so much. I think it's run its course. It's ooh and ah now. And then now I want to be like, you know what? Real art. But we'll see. We'll see how things go. Anyway, but yeah, we'll be playing guitar a little bit later on. So if you want to see that, we're going to be doing that. Anyhow, but the show must go on. So I'm ready to move into some woman in white, some lady in white, some white ladies. Lots of names for this phenomena. But I'll see you guys over in Cryptic Corner. All right, good morning. All right, I'm ready to do some Cryptic Corner. Hello, my beauties and bees, and welcome to another let me start that over again. Hello, my beauties and bees, and welcome to another installment of Cryptic Corner, where we explore the unexplained, the supernatural, the paranormal and hidden, the mysterious, the alien, the accursed, and the forbidden. And I am so happy to see so many friendly faces here this evening. Thank you so much for joining us. I say evening because, as the people who don't know, this show is pre-recorded on Saturday mornings live from the Hive. You can join us live every Saturday morning if you want to participate and be part of the side chat, be part of the crowd that votes on the polls and everything. You can join us every Saturday morning live from the Hive. And then, yeah, this is always going to be cut for a Friday night premiere. Whether I make it to that or not is a subject to my social life. But we will continue on with this practice. Good morning, everybody. I'm so happy that my live from the Hive folks could be in here. Saint Germain found Nicholas Flamel's notes, taught Ben Franklin alchemy, and has been seen more times since his death than any other figure in recorded history. So time traveler confirmed. I thought he was just immortal. We'll talk about Saint Germain. He's on the poll. If you want to vote for Saint Germain and break that sucker down, this immortal count I wouldn't want to pin him down to any one country in Europe because he was just all over the place. Why is this pointed so up high, though? Hold on, let me see if I can aim that down a little bit. I don't want you to see my messy room, but I want you to see my cute dress and my awesome tits. That's the important thing. So, in addition to running my regular polls, though, here in the last couple of weeks, what I've been doing is also I've been running some polls about what kind of content you guys are looking for. So, and I do want to share that because it was interesting. Okay, so this is the poll I ran. I like it when CrypticCorner reacts to a series of sightings and encounters, reacts to historical, reacts to stories and historical accounts, reacts to true believer content and evidence. So y'all like the series of videos the best. I couldn't find a lot of videos on the woman in white though. So what I've decided to do this time around was to react to some true believer content. And I found this channel, right? This channel's called Hunting the Dead. Hunting the Dead. Now, they do exactly what we want them to do. They go camping, they go track down skinwalkers, play with Ouija boards. They go ghost hunting. He's got a pretty sidekick that comes with him, so she's super cute. Yeah, and they're like true believer people, but they also use like the goofy ass apps and things like that. So it's gonna be a fun ride. And I found a video where they went searching for the woman in white, and went hunting for some paranormal, as they do, because they are hunting the dead. All right, so let me read their channel blurb real quick before we dive into their content. Film by Jody Dean, Hunting the Dad. Oh, I guess this is about their movie that they made. Like, if you go here, they made like a movie too. So they're plugging that pretty heavy right now, I guess. But I'm more interested in your ghost hunting videos, and I like watching ghost hunters for the most part. I'm gonna make fun of them hard, but you know, I like it. I wouldn't keep coming back to it if I didn't. The dead are pretty easy to find. Just look for the signs, like those upright stone markers. Oh, Big Zebra. Big Zebra's a professional at hunting the dead.
Animal? I think you are.
Oh, we got a dog.
I think you are.
All right, so look at all their patrons here, though. I'm jealous. I wish I had
Guys,
this many
check
patrons.
out my new zebra print Doc Martens. Aren't these badassery?
The funniest
really
thing
are.
about it is I didn't even realize I'm wearing a
They really are badass shoes, my dude. Big Zebra, did you see those? You need those. Those fit your motif. Yeah.
shirt that says party animal.
Are you
And John Hudson needs a shirt that says party animal. His needs to have mushrooms on it. Maybe his needs to say party fungus and have like mushrooms and stuff on it.
animal? I think you are. I think you are. Come back here.
Can't grow hobby.
Nice foggy morning out here. I love the fog. I love mornings like this. They're so beautiful, so peaceful. So
Me too. I love foggy mornings. We don't have them too much here. There's fog up on the mountains sometimes in the morning on the ride to work, and you can watch it lift. It's really cool because it creates like these weird swirly clouds. I don't know if you've ever seen them, but they kind of like circle around the top of the mountain. I'm not used to having mountains around, so it's like, oh my gosh, that's so cool.
It's the day of the woman in white investigation.
And fam, you need to let me know if my audio needs to be adjusted, because right now it looks like he's a little bit louder than me, which no one's allowed to be louder than me on my own channel, so I'm cranking myself up a little bit. How are we now? Can you hear me and him?
A little bit crazy, guys.
Things are going to get crazy. Been getting a little bit lazy. I'm now going to start singing some Sweet Escape. If I could escape and create a world of mine.
You know, there's a stigma that surrounds
where I could be your favorite. Okay, I'm going to shut up.
Fort Dade Road, Spring Hill Cemetery, the legend of the woman in white, and things are about to get paranormally litty. If you're a fan of our ghost hunting stuff, you're going to be a fan of this, because we are going to document this. There hasn't been a single time we've been on this road and we haven't thought that we have seen this woman in some shape or form. Maybe
there's some lady out there who lives on this street and like walks her dog in her favorite white dress every evening or whatever, or just her favorite color is white. She's out like walking, and these people think she's the ghost.
she's not always wearing white.
Oh, she's not always wearing white. It kind of defeats the purpose, I guess.
Maybe not always wearing white, but we've seen her. She's appeared in some way, shape, or form. Shape of a woman, whether it's a mist, whether it's a shadow figure. Alicia has seen her in color. So I feel like being with Alicia on the investigation.
I didn't know that about these people. Because they had they did like a fake stalker story. Was it fiction? Ghost? Yeah, at least they're not pirate ghost. We should do a pirate ghost episode sometime though this summer. Hail Hive and the woman in white. Good morning, my unfinished journey to 22. Love you, sweetie. Appreciate you showing up every morning and sending love over. Sometimes wearing white, yeah. The woman in white is the old lore, so maybe she just got tired of wearing white all the time. I mean, mix up her color scheme a little bit. Why not?
That we're gonna have a good chance at possibly documenting this. Starting to sprinkle a little bit out here, but that's okay. This morning we got Jace Man with us. What's up, Jace? Got a few family.
I always take my children to hunt the undead. It's important that they learn how to do that. That's how you train little Winchesters to grow up to be monster hunters. Ghost. It was really old. You think it was Old Man Jenkins the whole time? Could have been. We're going to get our mystery machine and head out there to find out.
Family things we're going to do here this morning, then we're going to get started on our investigation. We got Grandma coming up to hang out with the boys today, so me and Alicia can do this. And
is Grandma wearing white? She might actually get shot with a double barrel full of rock salt if she is, because you're teaching your kids to hunt ghosts.
Man, I'm really looking forward to it. It's going to be a lot of fun. All right, so I'm...
Now, Ember, we know it's Saruman of many colors. Not Saruman the white anymore, right? Maybe it depends on if it's before or after Labor Day. That's true. Labor Day is still a few months away, though. It's before you can wear your white.
So I'm traveling on Fort Dade right now. We're approaching Spring Hill Cemetery. It's going to be up here.
I miss forest roads living out here in the desert. I do miss forest roads. They look so pretty.
Around the corner. And, you know, there's just an energy out here, guys. There truly is. There's an energy, a spiritual...
I like to talk about spiritual energy because it's unfalsifiable and you can just claim it without any kind of evidence. You can really feel the energy in this place. Oh, there's a negative vibe in this room. Oh man, when I step in here, I get hit with a wave of energy. Something really wants to communicate. You can just bullshit your way through it. That's how these people operate. And maybe they do think they're feeling stuff, but I cannot say that there's any reason for me to not think it's psychosomatic at this point.
Spiritual energy, a land energy, lots of history around here, so I think there's a stigma in the air. But this is the area we're approaching right now, with the woman in white, and it's real.
Spring Hill Cemetery, but did we have we did do a Spring Hill Jack episode, didn't we? Just a couple weeks ago. It'll be cut and put on live soon, but Well, yeah, it was this one. Let me share it. So if you're into Spring-Heeled Jack, this is the episode that we covered him on. But he'll have his own standalone soon, too. So this is Spring-Heeled Jack right here. So, but you know what? What's going to happen, though, since we're doing the woman in white or the lady in white, then we're going to have to do the lady in black and the lady in red and the lady in gray and the lady in blue and the lady in pink. We're going to have to go through a lot of ladies. A lot of ladies. Now, there are some other color themed ghosts out there, though. There is like is it the red lady? She was the pink lady, and then she was the gray lady because she started to fade, I guess. Yeah. Does anybody know what these little crown symbols are, by the way, with the numbers next to them? They just started popping up here in my premiere last Friday, and I have no idea what's going on with them.
It's real. All right, so we're going to go ahead and turn in here. Whoa!
Not today.
There's actually people here right now. There's a lot of people there. All right.
Listen to homie get all like, oh yeah, I'm famous. I'm too famous for this. This is so funny.
I'm not going to go there right now because there's a chance some of those people might know me and they might want to get me on camera. I'm not a mean guy or anything, but
this is what it's like when Kip Davis is on the internet, though. He's like, man, every time I go onto a stream, there's people who want to come at me and want to be my buddy. Ain't that right, Kip? It's hard being super internet famous. It's like this guy has Kip Davis fame. Spring-Heeled Jack had an accomplice. Her name was Diane. Spring-Heeled Diane. Lady in red, dancing with me. The numbers are the new chat's leaderboard system. Whoever's made the most chats. I gotcha. It has something to do with donations or activity on the channel. Okay. Those crown things are in every live stream now. I'm not sure what they are. Why do ghost hunters run away from ghosts when they encounter them? I don't know. Could you imagine if you were like, if our ancestors had did that when they were hunting, we wouldn't be here because you are supposed to run away from what you're hunting.
like, I'm not trying to collab with people I don't know, and they may just end up throwing me in their video. So that's it. I'm gonna show you an area.
Bitch, I'm throwing you in my video. Throwing you in my video. Here you are. We're gonna hold you accountable for your white ladies sightings. Oh.
Right now, where Alicia actually believes she's seen the woman in white. She swears up and down that she's seen the woman in white. So I'm a little bit up the road here from the Spring Hill Cemetery. There was just a little too crowded for my tasting.
Homie's blessed. A little too crowded. There were a couple cars there. That kind of reminds me of there's a place in where I come from called Screamin' Johnny's. And if you go out there on a full moon, on a Friday the 13th, on Halloween, any of these days, it's the people just rolling by so slow, trying to catch a glimpse of Screamin' Johnny or to hear him screaming. So, yeah, I mean, it just depends on when you go to these places, but people be into it. Let's see. As long as cool women in black dresses or the devil in a blue dress. I should have wore a white dress today. I don't really have a good white dress though. I have like white stuff, but I don't have a white dress. I could have wore something to make it look like a white dress. But I thought my little sundress was cute. Every other sundress I've ever bought in my life was thrifted. This is the first one I bought new, and it fits me so good. Hugs my curves and everything. I love it. She saw the woman in white. Did she attend a wedding recently? Yeah. Oh, goodness.
But right now, I'm standing in the area where we were driving by, and Alicia said she's seen the woman in white right here. Somewhere in this area, we were driving by, and she said she just seen her just kind of standing there. She looked back, and then she was gone. So she's seen her, and she was gone like that. Sometimes our minds, they matrix things, and we think we see things, you know, we're not ever sure. Like, we wouldn't bet.
That is absolutely true. Your mind, you can prime your brain to think you're seeing something. If you're in an area where there's woman in white sightings, and you spend all that mental energy scanning the sides of the road for a woman in white, you know, eventually your brain's going to fabricate one. Oh, thank you, Amber. If you spend $1 to tell Bree she's pretty, it's plus points. Hell yeah. You get to tell me I'm pretty. In theory, anyway. Uh-huh. I wonder what state this is in. Florida. You can't tell by looking at it that it's Florida. Could be southern Texas, I guess, or Louisiana, but it's Florida. Yeah, but the woman in white sightings are global, though. They're not just isolated to one area or the other.
Bet money on it. We wouldn't sign it in blood. This area has a long, dark history. I've even heard people say that they've seen Bigfoots out here. I've heard people say they've seen the woman in white. I've heard people say they've seen the spirits of slaves. This road right here, there's been people that have had accidents on this road. There's people that have died on this road. This investigation
But are there Bigfoots that have died on that road? And were the Bigfoots wearing white?
is going to be very interesting. There's a ribbon on that tree right there. Alicia just made a good point. She said, I wonder if that's a piece of her dress hanging from that tree, because from a distance. So, you know, a lot of them.
I wonder if seeing a ribbon hanging from a tree and thinking that's the woman in white when you're driving through here at high speeds is part of the problem.
Minds are going to wonder, and they're going to make things up about the woman in white. Look how cool those trees are that hang over this street. Isn't that awesome?
I wish they had some Spanish moss on them. That'd look wicked.
Awesome. It's like you're riding into somewhere magical.
8 hours later.
All right, guys.
Bree, you're looking especially pretty today. Why, thank you, Native Atheist. I don't know what you look like today because I can't see you, but I imagine you look just absolutely immaculate. I'm sure all my hive is just the most beautiful people. School bus stop ahead. So people do live here. This is like a neighborhood. So it's not like we're way out in the middle of nowhere where people wouldn't be walking. There's children that live here that wait for the school bus. There's people that probably walk their dogs or walk into, up to the store to buy a candy bar.
Guys, it's about 7.5 hours later right now. 7 or 8 hours, actually. And we are on Fort Dade as we speak, getting ready to start our investigation on the woman in white. We've done a lot of recon and heard a lot of stories over the years. So Alicia has one that I want her to share with you guys. I thought it was pretty cool.
So you could just wear a white dress. Exactly, Joshua Davis. You could just wear a white dress at night and just walk up and down this road and freak people out and fuck with them. And you aren't doing anything wrong. There's no crime, and there's no crime to wearing a white dress and walking on the roadside. Well, most of your hive, some of us are Sith to the core. Yeah, but we can put you in pretty white armor, couldn't we? And you could be the Sith in white. Maybe it's a blessed hat of +3 ghost resistance. Yeah, it is blessed. Why does this hat say blessed in flaming letters, like from a Thrasher magazine? And this guy's like really religious too, so they like say prayers and stuff, but it's kind of a mixed bag of spiritualism and Catholicism, I guess.
It seems that before we were even together, she had heard about the woman in white, so I thought that was pretty cool. This does seem like a local legend that's got a lot of life to it, and you guys will hear from her now. All right, go ahead and tell them the story real quick.
All right, so when I was younger, like 11, 12, there used to be this whole legend around here, and there's
a legend around these parts. A killer buried but not dead. That's from the Friday the 13th series. I guess I shouldn't say it. I should say it with a Jersey accent, but I'm so used to doing the Southern accent, and they're in Florida. But yeah, lots of ghost legends that you're going to grow up with. Do you think Thrasher magazine have anything to do with that? I doubt it. Remember the show Finding Bigfoot? They had regular reports of people spotting Bigfoot while they were driving. The spotter, not Bigfoot. Bigfoot doesn't have a driver's license. But then I saw a news report about a guy who was struck by a car. He was wearing a gorilla suit. Yeah, that's not a good idea, is it? I don't get how Christians can believe in ghosts. It seems contradictory to their theology. I think it's like a purgatory type thing, isn't it?
Used to be a woman, and she was about to go get married, and she ended up killing her husband, and then whoever related to the husband ended up killing her on Fort Dade Road, and that's why she walks in a white dress, because she was going to get married the day she was.
Ooh.
She was wearing a
You think a wedding dress would be more pronounced, that it wouldn't just be a white dress? It'd be like, holy shit, this woman's in a full-on wedding gown.
white dress that day.
Yeah.
Dude, I got the chills. You know what's crazy though is I've heard similar stories like that, but you cannot find
Similar. I don't know what similar means, but
anything about this woman.
Because it is a legend, so.
It's a local legend, but it's crazy like how many people know about this legend.
And I thought I seen her. Maybe it was my mind playing tricks on me, but.
You thought you actually seen her.
Yeah.
And I've heard you say that a few times though before. You like, there's been several times we've driven down Fort Dade and you've thought you've seen this woman. Wow. Well, that was definitely a creepy story, creepy legend. Again, you know, maybe this is all local legend, but the facts are many people claim they see this woman all the time. And that's what I want to see. We're going to spend a few hours out here.
this is the kind of shit that Bree used to do too. So, I mean, that's just what paranormal investigation comes down to, really, is just going to places where people say they see shit and try to figure out what caused it or what caused them to think they saw it. And in my experience, like 80% of the time or so, it's always some kind of natural thing. Now, when you point out the natural cause for something, people will deny it, especially if they live in a haunted house. And you're like, you know what? The shape of your basement, when a sound reverberates from up here, it makes infrasounds that, you know, are going to cause you to have these bad vibes or bad feelings. People don't like those kind of explanations. They want to know that there's a spirit, a ghost, in their presence.
I was out here tonight, gonna give you guys the evidence. Hopefully there is some evidence. We've put a lot of research into this, but unfortunately we came up with very little, other than people that, you know, we have the stories that people have shared with us, and they've been sharing those stories for a long time. But, you know, as far as hardcore evidence, there's not a lot. It seems like it's mostly circled around legend. So hearsay, he say, she say stuff. So
He say, she say.
this is a creepy road though.
She sells seashells by the seashore. There's a jail in Utah called Purgatory Correctional Facility, which is pretty awesome. That's where both Warren Jeff and Ruby Fink were sent. Oh, excuse me. I need more coffee. Good morning, Sumami. A friend of mine, she insists that that there was a ghost cat in her house. I wonder how he is doing. I tend to think that believers who follow atheist channels have doubts. Call me optimist. I don't know. You talking about blessed be.
Though I will say that.
I'm getting nervous.
You're getting nervous?
Yeah.
No reason to get
And I
nervous.
really
We'll be
never get
fine.
nervous.
Yeah, it's a little eerie driving out here at night. It's a very quiet, dark road out in the middle of nowhere.
See, to me, that's just serene. That's not like scary or anything.
It's a country folk. Lots of dead ends. There's been a lot of times where I've been out here investigating and I've just heard gunshots going off like crazy. People all over just constantly shooting their guns.
You know what we'll have to do too? I just realized, because it's kind of tangential to the woman in white, but we need to, at some point, we need to add this lovely lady to the poll, because she's sort of a woman in white. She's not always in white, but Resurrection Mary, right? That's a good one. Y'all want to see Resurrection Mary added to the polls? We probably won't add her immediately because she's a lot like the woman in white in some aspects. She's a phantom hitchhiker, which we'll probably do the whole episode and call it like a phantom hitchhiker episode, which she'll be our our flagship. So we'll have to add Phantom Hitchhiker to the poll, but it won't be this week.
There's been times where I've been out here and I've just heard really weird animal sounds, and I've definitely seen a lot of shadow figures. I've never seen this such detailed version of this woman that everybody claims, but
oh shit, there's the stalker videos that you're talking about. Rando Nautica. Yeah. I saw other videos on their channels about this where they were talking about Rando Nautica stalker, but you know.
I continue to look for her. This is about the area right here where the woman in white is spotted usually, where people claim they see her. We're gonna pull over here real quick. All right, so we're out here right now.
You gotta do some Lover Lane shit if you want to get the spook to attack you, though. That's the thing. People don't understand that when you can't just go out to these spots and start waving your cameras and flashlights around and hoping the goat man's gonna come throw an axe at you, or that, you know, Resurrection Mary's gonna appear in your back seat. You have to like chill and make out. Somebody's got to get their titties out before these creatures appear. It's the rule. It's the rule of these Lover's Lane types of ghouls. You have to get nasty before they show up, and they will throw axes through your window or appear in your back seat and stuff. But you have to go through the proper steps.
Right now at the entrance of Spring Hill Cemetery, and to be honest with you guys, this is a very sketchy, dangerous area. That's all there is to it. There's a lot of coyotes out here. There's
only ever been one recorded fatality from coyotes ever recorded on an adult, and they weren't regular coyotes. They were coy wolves, and they were in, I believe it was Nova Scotia. I could be wrong about that, but it was a folk singer girl that got et. But regardless, you don't really have to worry about coyotes, especially not the little tiny ones they have down in Florida. You could drop kick those fuckers. I mean, don't go around kicking coyotes unless you have to defend yourself. But you don't have to worry about coyotes. When you hear coyotes, just enjoy their silly little songs that they sing, because their songs are silly.
There's a lot of snakes. There's a lot of wild, crazy individuals.
Now, snakes are true issue in Florida. You gotta watch where you step. And then, yeah, wild, crazy people, of course. Why do people let deer drive their cars? That's dangerous. I'm saying. There's also a railroad there called Hellhole. Nice. Purgatory and Hellhole. Back roads are not paved and don't have traffic lights. They are dirt and gravel. Yeah, these people don't know what a back road looks like. These are urban people. Never been on a dirt road. How fun if he pulled over and immediately got ghost napped into the woods, only to be found 4 days later, tied 60 feet up in a tree. Oh my gosh, Ember. You got a whole plot planned out for this story. In Canada, we have a problem with moose in the roads. If you hit one, both you and the moose die. That sucks. There is a purgatory ski resort in Durango, Colorado. Yes, OMG, moose are scary like that. Moose are huge, too. It's only sketchy because it's full of Floridians. Not wrong. Yeah, that's how you can tell it's an axe murderer and not a ghost that's coming down the road when you're parked. And fucking look at the trees. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. If you want these creatures to come and get you, or the axe murderers or anything like that. A deer isn't a pretty situation, but it ain't a moose. Yeah, a deer would, I've hit a deer before, and the deer walked away, and I walked away, so, but I don't think the same would happen with a moose. Yes, I heard it was coyotes, but coy wolves make much more sense. Yeah. Do coyotes' bites carry rabies, though? They can. Yeah, you don't want to mess with any kind of animal carrying rabies. A squirrel with rabies can be dangerous. A kitten with rabies can be dangerous. Did I explain that okay? I had to dip out AFK for work for a bit. Okay. Yeah.
Individuals. That said, this is the area of the woman in white, and this is... I don't know.
What was that? You gotta be spooked out. That's the key to making ghost hunting videos. Is every now and then you gotta say, "What was that?" You don't have to be anything. You just gotta say it.
Here, get back in the car real quick. Yeah, I heard something too.
You're priming yourself. Hello? You're in the Florida wilderness at night. There's critters. There's definitely critters. Alright, holy shit.
Dude, I just seen something move right in front of my camera. I don't know what that was, but it looked like a mist or something, and then it was gone. Is there somebody over there?
Did you all see any mist? I did not see any mist.
It looked like a mist or something move right in front of my Dude, I just seen
I did see... Yeah, it was a puffa.
Dude, I just seen
I do see mist. It's right there.
Dude, I just seen something move right in front of my
camera. But it sounds like their engine is still running, so I'm assuming that's their exhaust.
I don't know what that was, but it looked like a mist or something, and then it was gone.
You just told her to get back in the car, and she slammed the door and poofed the... maybe she's vaping in there, too. I don't know.
Is there somebody over there? What the hell? There's this all of a sudden a thing of smoke. Where the hell did the smoke come from?
We can hear your engine running, guy.
It's not even cold out here, guys. That was weird. I just heard something again. Hey, did you hear that?
Keep rolling my window up and like putting it down. Rolling it up, putting it down.
Here, roll your window down all the way. So whatever that was that you heard, I heard it too just now. Like even when you said you heard it, I heard something. I just couldn't make it out.
I think she's in there vaping.
I hear footsteps, Drew.
Yeah, there sounds like there's something coming this way. I can't see it, but I hear it.
Get in the car.
Hold on. I got an offering here. Hold on. The other day when we were...
Do not take old toys out and leave them in the woods. That is littering.
Randonauting, we found this doll, and when I knew we were coming out here, I said to myself, you know what? I'm going to gift this doll right here to the woman in white. Sometimes when you give spirits an offering, in return, they...
Well, he's dressed like it's cold, too. I mean, he's wearing a hoodie and... Yeah.
Give you the respect of communicating with you. So, I'm going to try and find a spot to put this doll right now.
So, we have confirmation that the woman in white is a millennial because she vapes. Yeah, but she has like the best rig in Florida. And you can do like smoke rings and all kinds of cool tricks. It's a fast food cup, guys.
Move right there. Dude, that is so spooky.
Spooky.
The road to nowhere.
Leads to me.
I think I'm gonna put the doll right there.
It's the fast food cup. Put in the doll with the trash.
That's for you. I brought that for you. It's my gift. The woman in white, if you're here, I just want to say, I mean you no disrespect by being here. Obviously, I mean you no harm. You can harm me more than I can harm you.
Daddy. You can harm me more than I can harm you. Now there are 2 cups of coffee and a doll. So it's basically like a little happy meal for a ghost. Do ghosts need coffee, though?
I can't even see you. Of course, I would like to see you. A lot of people say that they do. I brought this doll for you. I hope you like it. I would like to pray for you real quick, if that's okay. And Jesus,
This is, like I said, they're going to get all Christian-y.
In Jesus' name I pray. God, I ask that you please wrap your godly hands around the...
around, yeah, wrap your godly hands around this, daddy.
Woman that's out here, I don't know her story. A lot of people don't. But if she's here, if she's trapped, help her find the light. Surround her in light with love. Be her light, be her love.
Jesus time.
In Jesus' name I pray, amen.
In Jesus' name. I think it's pronounced Jesus in Florida, right? Jesus. In Jesus' name I pray. Gotta be Dominican.
You heard whistling? She's saying she heard.
That's a squatch. If there's whistling, it's a squatch, 100%. Now, you don't hear whistling and it not turn out to be a squatch. I'm just saying.
Dad.
It's time to get squatchy. No?
I don't know. I think I'm gonna try and do the necrophonic in the car right now. Right now I'm using it.
Yeah, these are apps. I think let's see if we can find it. Necrophonic. We're gonna go to the App Store. Necrophonic. Let's see if it's free. I'll download it. Necrophonic. Oh my gosh, it's $10. Look, it's like $10. I'm not doing that. I can't believe people would pay for that shit. There's other ones that are cheaper though. Let's see. There's Necrophone. There is Necrotalk, Ghost Tube, Ghost Hunting Tool, Spirit Box, Spirit Board, Spirit Contact Talker, Necrometer, Ghost Science M3, Ghost Detector Spirit Box. So there's a whole lot of these apps on here, and we're supposed to believe that they work, I guess. So weird.
An app that would allow us to communicate if you would like to communicate with me. We are
all
here.
These years we've had all the Ouija boards and pendulums and stuff to try to doing seances to try to communicate with ghosts, and suddenly these guys come up with an app that just blows all that out of the water, right?
Tonight to speak to the woman in white. Can she speak?
Hi, Zebra.
What do you think about the doll that I just gifted to you here tonight?
So, I mean, you can kind of understand what's happening here. It's taking whatever he says into it and kind of like reverberating and bouncing it around to make it sound weird. Tsunami, I think YouTube is constantly behind Twitch and keeps trying to catch up with their weird features. Tsunami, and why am I somehow in 8th place despite never spending any money here? I think it's how much you interact. I think it's just who interacts the most on the stream is who's in the lead. I think. I don't know. That makes sense though, because Rainbow Ash is number 1.
I don't know. I keep on feeling like I see something in those woods.
That's what I thought too.
You keep on feeling. You got to do those vibe checks because vibes are the important part about ghost hunting.
And I looked over, there was nothing there, and then I looked over again because I thought I seen something. There was nothing there.
All right, Alicia just thought that she seen somebody. She started freaking out. But her nerves are on edge tonight being over here.
Dude, no, I legitly thought I just seen somebody right in front of me crossing the road.
It's a possibility, man.
Oh my god.
I kept hearing stuff while
I don't know where they're from that we say I seen instead of I saw. Is that a regional dialect for Florida? Because they've both said it now. I seen this, or someone said they seen that. Which I believe I want to say it's regional, but I'm not sure. I don't want to like mock their grammar and whatever. Grammar Nazi is a tool of the oligarchy to oppress us. It's basically education gatekeeping nonsense.
While I was out there, but well, don't cry. Here, do you want to ask her a question?
Yeah.
All right.
Where are you standing at?
Look, it even has like a static effect on the screen. How cheesy.
Down.
I didn't hear down. You're just near. It says audio pareidolia.
Look out.
Yeah, I heard
I'm
that
not
too.
looking out nowhere. Killed him?
It said. That's what it said. I use my powers of grammatical pedantry only for good. I think it's funny they want to encourage chat interaction, but will still shadow mute you on live streams for spamming chat. Makes no sense. It's kind of regional. I heard it mostly with poor people. Yeah.
Did I just see you cross the road?
What? Did it say my name?
Brant means yes. Remember that next time. Brant means yes.
Dude, I'm shaking because I'm so scared to die. Are you standing near the car?
So, are we going to find out why she beatboxes her answers? I just want to know why she can't just talk instead of beatboxing her answers. I mean, I guess if you had that reverb feature, I would probably do some like, I'd either do Renegade by Styx at the beginning to make it echo, reverb, or I would do In the Air Tonight, like the Phil Collins song. So I'd be like, ooh, mama, I'm in fear for my life. Or I would go, I remember, and then let it echo. That would be badass to use in the Spiriphonics thing, or Necrophonics, whatever. If I did this shit, yeah. If y'all want to get me this app, I'll use it, but I'm not paying $10 for it.
Car! It just said car.
We need to go.
It just said car.
Do this.
No, this is what we want.
Oh my god.
What? You said, are you standing near the car? And it said car. D.
And you still can't figure out that it's just taking the words you're saying and running them through like a reverb and filter? Oh, goodness.
Jody, I know what I seen right there.
Here, hold the app back up.
I am so sorry. I keep looking over there because I know I seen it.
Do you like the doll that I left you?
Did I see you just a few minutes ago?
What? I heard what? Bobby. Bobby. The boy ain't right. Talking about Bobby Hill.
This is where you seen her walk right there? Alicia said that she's seen, it looked like a woman walk across the street. It didn't look like the woman in white though, right? It just looked like a woman?
It just looked like a person. Dude.
If you guys see anything, please timestamp it.
It also sounded sort of like Dochi doing her tongue rolls and breathing exercise things.
I don't know what to think either. I mean, it's definitely eerie out here tonight for sure. We're driving a little bit up the road here where there's another little pull off, and it's actually the area where where I was standing during the day and I was telling you guys.
This is so. My mind is in a gutter. I keep waiting for this to turn into a porn.
Is about how Alicia seen the woman in white during the day. Was that it?
No, your lights.
Okay. All right, we found the cutoff right here, and I just want to show you guys what it looks like without the lights on.
It's scary.
That's exactly what it looks like out here tonight.
We can't see anything. It's just black.
Nobody's gonna stay there.
All right, I'm gonna get out real quick, okay?
You are?
Yeah.
Ooh, hold on. Watch right here.
All right.
That's the kind of shit people say is a ghost. See that reflection moving there?
I'm gonna get out real quick, okay?
You are?
Yeah. That's exactly
Watch
what
right
it looks like
in this
out
area.
here tonight.
See right there?
Nobody's gonna stay there.
All right.
And it's
I'm gonna
just
get
the
out real
camera trying to reconcile light and the pixelation.
quick, okay?
You are?
Yeah. Now we're here in the area where Alicia's seen the figure during the day.
This is where I saw Bigfoot too.
These woods are pretty soupy out here. I'm not trying to climb down into them. There's all kinds of crazy things out here.
Some gators for sure.
That said, I do, however, kind of want to run the spirit box again right here in this area and see if
You're close enough, Tsunami, that you could go out there in your best white dress and spook the hell out of these people.
there's a difference. And Alicia doesn't know this, but I did bring a Ouija board with me tonight. I brought a real gravestone Ouija board.
You know what's a good bolster for a healthy relationship is open and honest communication. So maybe you should tell Alicia that you brought a Ouija board. If Alicia has a problem with Ouija boards, yeah, that's kind of a dick move.
Ouija board. It's actually going to be my tombstone when I die. I brought it with me tonight to try and help us connect with the spirit of the woman in white. So I hope we can do that, man. That's the mission right now. Alicia just seen something. Dude, look at that. Look at that.
There's no way you all did not hang this dress on that tree yourselves.
Look what we just found. Look what we just found right there.
A brand new, clean, white, freshly laundered dress in the woods. I'm sure.
You've got to be kidding me. This dress was just hanging across the street over there. It was just hanging on that branch. Just barely hanging there, swinging along.
Now let's say hypothetically that the dress was really hanging there. Do you think that that's more of a sign that people are familiar with the lore and are trying to prank you by hanging a white dress in the woods? Alternatively, do you think that the story from this particular stretch is based on other people seeing similar dresses hanging in the woods? Or do you think that this dress was planted? Actually, let's do a poll on that. Yeah. All right, so we'll do. See, it's planted. Someone is pranking them. Or a real ghost. Yeah, because the ghost is naked now. Did the poll take? It did not, did it? It was being all laggy, so I assumed it didn't. My thing just reset. So, let's try that again. Okay. They planted it. They're being pranked. Real ghost dress. There we go. I knew it was going to lag, or it was going to crash because the text started lagging. Yeah. Good morning. Good morning, Caitlin, Chloe. Good morning, Captive Desk.
That's what you said you seen across the street. You said
Morning,
that
John.
you seen...
Did you see that?
What?
A mist?
I've been seeing mist out here, yeah.
And it's not cold. Even though I'm wearing a jacket, I was wearing
Who the heck?
Hear her try to justify saying it's not cold. I still think that homegirl might be vaping inside the vehicle.
Put a dress out there. Or did anybody put it out there? I don't know.
It's a nice white color too. It's like not dirty or stained and old, like it's been out there forever. It feels like it just came out of someone's closet and got hung up on and someone hung it on the tree. Not like it's been blowing through the wilderness or anything.
Dude, I'm freaking out right now. I'm wondering if we take this dress and do a spirit box session, if we're gonna be able to make communication with her. What if this belonged to her?
There's no way. Because it would be so much dirtier. I think somebody's just playing a prank out here. And
I don't think it's a prank, Alicia. I think this... I didn't even notice it when we drove up. Guys, this white dress was hanging on a branch across the street.
Is that Alicia's dress? The answer is always alien dress. Don't aliens wear red dresses though? Or maybe aliens wear silver suits? I'm not opposed to an alien in a white dress.
Street. And when you drive by at night, it could easily look like a person there, depending on how the wind's blowing. So it makes me wonder, maybe somebody is trying to prank people.
that's so messed up.
Or maybe it's real.
She says it's a little messed up and then looks like, are you the one pranking us, Alicia? Look at that face. Would Alicia prank us?
Maybe they should tell us what they think in the comments below. Do you guys think that the woman in white made this dress appear? Or do you think maybe people out here get a kick? That's a lot of trouble for what? What satisfaction do they get off that?
I don't know. But you gotta think.
Views on your YouTube channel?
I think we need to try and communicate with her. What?
Why did the lights just dim?
I did just see that. Oh my God.
Oh, I hope our car don't
my
die out
God.
here.
I've heard people say that before, that their cars have died out here on Fort Day Road.
I've heard this. The rumors have it that there's got to be some validity though. You hear a lot of things. People say a lot of things.
And what do spirits do? We'll get out of the area real quick and we'll do a
she's wanting to leave, girl.
spirit box session with the dress and let you run the K2 meter on it, okay?
Okay. Can't believe you brought the Ouija board. I am not excited about it.
I know.
She's pissed. She's mad that she brought the Ouija board. And me and Alicia kind of have the same vibe. I don't know. Like, for real. We look... Got our hair the same. She got a little pink to her hair, though. Well, anyway.
But I think that we should use it for this. It's very powerful, and we want to communicate with her, and this might be our opportunity. Okay.
Yeah, I like her better than him because he's like lying. He like lied to her about bringing the Ouija board. I mean, maybe she's just in on this and it's her dress. I mean, that's a possibility. That white dress is hers. But regardless, if so, I don't believe in like supernatural stuff, right? But if I had a partner and they were like, I don't like Ouija boards. They scare me. I don't want to be around one. I would not, out of respect for them, I would not bring a fucking Ouija board with us. That just seems like a reasonable thing to do as a partner that cares. He seems like he's on a script and she doesn't. Are you secretly Alicia? I could be. I think I'm way taller than Alicia, though. I bet she only comes up to my shoulders. People always think I'm like tiny and petite. I do come across that way, like when you see me on screen. But I'm actually quite. I'm tall, not that tall. I'm tall for a woman. I'm 5'10", maybe 5'11", and I'm over 6 foot with heels on though. So people don't expect that when they first meet me. Like, oh, you're way taller than I thought you were. Because like, especially when men first meet me, they're like, oh, I thought I'd be taller than you. It's like, well, sorry. Yeah, pink hair is cute on anyone. I had pink hair for a while, and I had purple hair for a while too. Let's see, where were we at? Yeah, Kat kind of gives it a bad name. Based on the previous video, she's in on it. Okay. Yeah, because you said that they've got busted. Bree saying she doesn't believe in supernatural stuff while being full on magical, shaking my head. I don't not believe in supernatural stuff. I just haven't seen the evidence of it. I try not to be too harsh on people. There's been times in my past where I was really judgmental to people who believed in stuff and really kind of rude about it. Working on doing the perspective with the friendly neighborhood atheist helped me understand how to approach these subjects better without being so full of ridicule. But I do believe that most of the stuff that happens, especially the ghost related stuff, is all inside your brain. It doesn't mean you're not having the experiences. It just means the experiences aren't external, which is completely different than saying you're making it up or you're lying or something. Because you did experience aliens too. You did get abducted by aliens, but you didn't actually get abducted by aliens, if that makes any sense.
Okay, we got a creeper coming in here right now. Don't worry about it though. Okay. Okay, guys. So here is the board right here, and
oh, it's product placement. Okay, they got a Hunting the Dead custom Ouija board that they need to hawk.
And we are about to use it to try and communicate with the woman in white. All right, so we have the dress right by the board. Alicia's gonna turn on, is the meter on? All right, it's on already. We got the meter on. We're gonna go ahead and try and use the board right now and see what happens. Can you tell us, does this dress belong to somebody? And if so, who?
Someone definitely bought the dress, bro. They didn't blow out of the store and get stuck in the tree. My daughter is 5'11".
Why is
Bree is a tall drink of wine. Yeah. I'm just taller than people think. I think most people expect me to be somewhere between because maybe the way I look online and the angle, they expect me to be somewhere between 5'5" and 5'8", somewhere around there, and I'm taller than that.
Why is there hair on the board? White hair.
Is there white hair? Dude, there is white hair. What?
Doom, doom, doom.
I have no idea where white hair would come from. Hey, it just went to W.
I see that.
W what? Keep spelling for us.
I like it better when there's a hole in the planchette, so you can know for sure what it's doing. But anyway, you're gonna spell Zozo.
You did good on the first one. Can you continue, please? H
I
W H
I T
W H what?
Let's speed it up because we are running out of time here. I didn't mean to do that.
I just got a cold chill on my leg.
W H what?
I.
W H I
T
W H I T E White. Is that what you're trying to spell?
Well, you don't say.
Oh my god. Dude.
Why is there hair on the board?
I don't know. I have no idea what the planchette's doing either. Alright, so we were not getting much on the Ouija board, but I've now set the white dress on the Ouija board, and we're going to see if the woman in white is here. Can you please make this meter light up? It'll just let us know that you're able to respond to us. You're able to communicate. Are you the one that everybody talks about, that everybody
Maybe
sees?
the ghost doesn't want you to have your white lady there. Maybe she's like, come back without your white lady and we'll talk. Maybe that's what the ghost is saying.
Or does this have nothing to do with you?
Probably has nothing to do with him.
Yeah, I'm starting to... Whoa! You seen that?
I did.
Was that you? Can you do that again, please?
That was odd.
Yeah, it was a little bit of a hit there.
So again, you're using an EMF meter inside of a running vehicle that has electric lines running all over the back to power everything in this trunk right now. Yeah, you might get some readings. I think an EMF meter might pick up some electromagnetic frequency in a vehicle with electromagnetic frequency running through it.
Whatever you just did, do that again. Was that the woman in white? So you guys can see, I mean, it's just a regular basic K2 meter. I feel like maybe you just did that.
There wasn't much to it, Kip. The light just blinked for a second.
Again. That's gonna be it, I bet you. Did it do it?
It did like a little bit. You light it up all the way?
Oh!
No.
Yeah, dude. That's crazy.
Aw,
Wow,
dude.
it just legit went, it tried to go all the way.
Chills.
Hey, look, it's still going. You're making it do that. That's all you. Guys, again, nothing would make this meter go off right here. Can you make it go
Besides electromagnetic frequencies moving through the vehicles, it would probably do that.
to the pink?
Light it up all the way right here.
Guys, we're going to try the Ouija board one more time. This is one of the most effective Ouija boards I've ever had.
Oh, yeah, it's the one that you sell on your store, too. How convenient. Oh, I don't know if it's actually the one they sell in their store now. I'm kind of curious. Do they have a merch store? Because it looks like a custom build. Merch. We will search for merch. No, nothing. Okay, so I was being too hard on them, I guess, to say that they were grifting for merch.
Would you like to use this board? You spelled out W-H-I, and it looked like you were going to T, and then you just kind of backed off.
I was actually saying that last night in the Apostate Sisters live chat. I was saying I cannot wait until I'm a ghost, because I'm going to hunt an amusement park, I think. That just seems like the most fun, I guess. Especially if it's an amusement park with like a derpy haunted house that I can make real spooky. I'm here for it. Since I will not inherit the kingdom of heaven.
E. E what?
Eat my ass.
Why is the light doing that?
I don't know. The light just started doing something weird.
Itty bitty
E-A?
titties.
E-A what?
Eat my ass. E-A-T. Eat
That light just did that. What the hell? T. Eat. Eat. Eat what?
my ass.
What would you like to eat? Okay, guys, we had to go ahead and get back in the car. There's this car after car coming up here, and it's like they're circling around to see what we're doing. I'm gonna try a spirit box session again here with the dress one more time. I'm really not sure if this dress has anything to do with anything. I just think it's kind of ironic that we find a white dress hanging on a tree while we're out researching and investigating the
Unless you're the ones that put it there.
woman in white.
Yeah.
So if the woman in white, please, if you have any connection at all to this dress, please speak now.
You can cosplay as the Holy Spirit, but do not act like the Holy Spirit, Kip Davis. Because, yeah, the Holy Spirit impregnated a 13-year-old girl. We have to remember that.
He said, Mom. I don't know, that sounded pretty relevant though.
How are they? You know, I get it, like, if it was like a standardized voice, but they can literally hear their own voices in that. I mean, I can hear their voices in that with the reverb turned on and the bass boosted and static laid over top of it and some distortion and stuff. But I can tell that that's their own voices. I mean, you all can tell that too, right? Right?
My wife heard a story that you were on your way to get married and you caught your husband cheating, and the woman or you, one or the other, we've heard several different stories, killed him and then took your life, or she killed you. I seen it. Can you tell me, is there any truth to that story? his wife, you think I said?
Yeah, because you said that, and it's bouncing your own voice around back at you, dude. Come on. Come on now.
Yeah, it sounded like Dean again. Is the man you loved dead as well?
That.
I want to say thank you so much for communicating with us. If you did communicate with us, we did this with much love and light and appreciation for the dead. We just want to honor you by giving you a voice, and this story has been quite interesting to us for a long time, so thank you for that.
What happened to your blast hats? Now it's a PlayStation hat.
Hope you, if you did communicate with us, I hope you accept my offering and my prayers, and I just want to say thank you. If there's anything you'd like to say, you're welcome to speak now.
Yeah, I pulled it up on the App Store a minute ago. You can get it on the App Store. It's $10 though. I'm not paying for it. It just distorts your voice and bounces it back at you.
Help. Do you think we communicated with her?
Possibly.
Do you think?
Somebody.
Do you think this dress actually may have any? I mean, look at it. It looks super clean, for one.
Because this came out of Alicia's closet, in my opinion.
But you know what really weirded me out is I didn't see it when we pulled up. Like,
I was thinking about that too, but I didn't see it.
well, just I don't know. Kind of, I felt like it just kind of appeared there. And I could say that that's something I'm used to seeing when it comes to being at places searching for some kind of paranormal activity.
That's true. Things do appear out of nowhere.
But you did think that you had seen something cross the street, a woman, you said.
I know I seen it.
And there wouldn't be nobody walking out there in their right mind at night with no flashlight.
Either.
Yeah, there is no street lights. Good point. Very dangerous road. People rip around that corner all the time.
Like, it's not even dirty.
Guys, I want to know what you think. Do you think we communicated with the woman in white? Do you even think
No.
maybe there is a woman in white? I mean, this could all
No.
be a myth, and maybe we're just psyching
Yes, it's a myth.
ourselves out here. I don't know. One thing's for sure.
Yes, you're psyching yourselves out.
We did find a white dress in the area where people claim to see the woman in white. We did get some good EVPs. We did get some hits on the meter.
A clean, brand new white dress that looked like it had been either freshly laundered or brand new, freshly purchased.
It seemed like she was coming to the board, or someone was coming to the board, but they didn't have enough strength to speak the way they wanted to. I want to give a big shout out to parawisp.com for making me that amazing gravestone Ouija board, and you guys can also get a gravestone Ouija board by going to parawisp.com. Guys, smash that thumbs up, leave comments below. New video dropping tomorrow. Big shouts out to all the mods, all the patrons, all the members. We love you so much. Until next time, sweet nightmares.
Sweet nightmares. All right, so yeah, that was Hunting the Dead. Hunting the Dead. Apparently they have recently had an issue with an alleged stalker that they lied about. There's more to it than that, but I mean I don't want to assume, but it's this something aqua or Subnautica related thing, you know. Anyway, so their channel, they do spiritual investigations and stuff like that. Do they actually encounter ghosts? Not in my opinion, but who am I to say? But from what I look at, the app that they use, the Necrophonic app, just rebounces your voice back around and makes it spooky sounds with echoey, distant, etheric voices. The dress, I just can't fathom how a dress would have gotten out there without them planting it, or without somebody else planting it in the hopes that they were going to stumble upon it. It couldn't have been out there that long. It's still clean and fresh. So no, I don't, this video, I mean, right now, I'm not digging it. I hope that this is what you're talking about when you guys say that you want me to interact with true believers more often, though, because this is, you know, kind of what I enjoy doing, is like just, you know, poking fun at paranormal investigations and how they're done and the tools they use and the evidence that they find. It's all silly to me. Now, do I think that ghosts could exist? Well, they could. I don't know of any mechanism by which they could exist. Right? A mind outside of a physical body, as far as I'm aware, doesn't exist in the natural world. But I don't know. You tell me in the comments down below, and thank you for sticking with us. Please remember to be kind, take care, and we will see you next time. All right, live from the Hive, people, don't go, because this is just the start of the show. Cryptic Corner is just where we start. And up next we have what I've been looking forward to all week is haunted guitars and strings. There's guitar. I have like some guitars and some, I think a violin too. So it's gonna be fun. You gotta stick around for that. We're gonna do an intermission though, because I gotta go potty. And also, I love you. So don't go anywhere. Don't leave. You got the music part coming up. Don't go. I got $50 betting on dude doing bad shit. Okay. And we'll see what happens. All right. I'll be back in just a few minutes.
So the officer and I went out there to take a look at it. You know, he just tried to chew in around the doors. And you could see a dog print, you know, alongside the window there. And so it was, you know, obviously a dog.
Summer morning in early June is when the legend began. At a nameless logging camp in Wexford County where the Manistee River ran. 11 lumberjacks near the Garland Swamp found an animal they thought was a dog. In a playful mood, they chased it around till it ran inside a hollow log. A logger named Johnson grabbed him a stick and poked around inside. Then the thing let out an unearthly scream and came out and stood upright. None of those men ever said very much about whatever happened then. They just packed up their belongings and left that night, were never heard from again. It was 10 years later in '97 when a farmer near Buckley was found. Slumped over his plow, his heart had stopped. There were dog tracks all around. 7 years past the turn of the century, they say a crazy old widow had a dream of dogs that circled her house at night. They walked like men and screamed. In 1917, a sheriff who was out walking found a driverless wagon and tracks in the dust like wolves had been stalking. Near the roadside, a 4-horse team lay dead with their eyes open wide. When the vet finished up his examination, he said it looked like they died of fright. In '37, a schooner captain said several crew members had reported a pack of wild dogs roaming Bowers Harbor. His story was never recorded. In '57, a man of the cloth found claw marks on an old church door. The newspaper said they'd been made by a dog. He'd have had to stood 7'4". In '67, a van load of hippies told a park ranger named Quinlan they'd been awakened in the night by a scratch at the window. There was a dog man looking in and grinning. In 77, there were screams in the night near the village of Bel Air. Could have been a bobcat, could have been the wind. Nobody looked up there. Then in the summer of 87, near Luther, it happened again. At a cabin in the woods, it looked like maybe someone had tried to break in. There were cuts around the doors that could only been made by very sharp teeth and claws. He didn't wear shoes because he didn't have feet. He walked on just 2 paws. So far this year, no stories have appeared. Have the dogmen gone away? Have they disappeared? Soon enough, I guess we'll know, because this is the time to fear. For another 10 years has come around. The 7th year is here. And somewhere in the Northwoods darkness, a creature walks upright. And the best advice you may ever get is don't go out at night.
Hello, my beauties and bees, and welcome to our week in weird. This week's really weird, actually, because it doesn't get much weirder. It does not get much weirder. Why do I have this open twice? That one. No. Hold on. I have my BugBot open twice for some reason. Okay, that one needs to stay open, and this one can close. Yes, there we go. All right. Oh, all right. Before I get too far into things, before I do my spiel here, I want to say thank you, because a couple of viewers, a couple of supporters have dropped some channel memberships, and I want to shout out, because we got DM, we've got Inquisitive Quandary, we've got Book Lover 92, we've got Ring 42, we've got Kip Davis, we've got Leo Phileas, Al Trucker, Gary Priestley, Ian Chen Official, Spooky Bed Hair, all got a channel membership gifted by the one and only Who's Your Buddy. Who's your buddy? You're my buddy. That's right. And then to move on, Regios also dropped 20 gift memberships. That's 20 gift memberships for y'all out there. Love you guys. And they landed with Jen. They landed with Batmom, Parasolo, Sumami, Maya Atkinson, Dr. Osiris, John Hudson, John Fabiano, Aunt Jur, Autistic Septuagenarian. We have Pragmatic Crystal, the Transpositions. That's me. I got gifted a membership to my own channel from my other channel. You are Victoria, Settled Dragon, Jen with 1 N, Clockwork Rex, Ways to Human, Carrie Ann Chrysler, Soren Alexander, CD Ollyman. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for all your support. All right, so today, as promised, as per the polls that are ever so important for parsing out what the show is going to cover, and when I say this, I'm not even kidding, these polls tell us which way the channel's going to go. Like, seriously. We talked about strings. Strings it is. I'm stringing up. I'm strung out because musical instruments and curses and devils and things like that go hand in hand, right? Like, throughout history, we've seen, the devil went down to Georgia playing the fiddle against the devil, very Faustian like narrative, right? And we all remember I covered the 27 Club a couple months back, and we talked about, Robert Johnson, Deal at the Crossroads, where you give the devil your guitar, and he strums it, adjusts your tuning, messes with it, and then all of a sudden you're a virtuoso. I messed it up. I said virtuoso and then I fuck up. That's wonderful. I'm not a virtuoso though. I practice hard and long. I can't play it now. Y'all got me all nervous. Fuck it. Anyway, I write my own stuff too, but yeah, mostly my stuff's more strummy stuff. But I like acoustic guitars better than electric guitars. But electric guitars are not exempt from having demonic possession, curses, and the such on them. But we're going to start things off right at the beginning of what Inspired does. Tribute by Tenacious D. Let me see. You, my brother Kyle here. We're drinking down. No, I can't do the talking part, but yeah, that's about as close as I can get with just one guitar. It's really easy to play though. There we go. Sorry. I had to warm up first. This is just the tribute, yeah. So, I don't have a pick of destiny, though. I just have a gray Dunlop. If I had a pick of destiny, I wouldn't be sitting here on YouTube. I'd be up on stage somewhere, right? But, let's check this out. So, here is a haunted paranormal guitar that was posted. It's been about 7 years ago. Yeah, listed 7 years ago. It's been viewed 14,211 times. 51 offers. Look at the asking price. Brilliant. $666 with $66.60 in shipping. Doobie doo. Yeah, I was not warmed up. About this listing. Okay. Here we go. This singular guitar came into my possession quite by accident. All right, you know what? Actually, I don't feel like reading all this necessarily. I'm getting lazy, so I'm going to let this guy read it to us. This is, oh yeah, I guess I could say who he is. This is Kill City Saints. So let's let him talk.
Hey Hellbillies, what's going on? Reverend Hellbilly here. Hey Hellbillies, what's going on? Reverend Hellbilly here. Alright.
I don't know why it restarted like that. I guess it's possessed.
So, today we're going to talk about this haunted guitar that was for sale on Reverb. It's been sold. So, this was a K guitar, probably made in the late 40s, early 50s, just an acoustic guitar. You can see the pictures there. It's in pretty decent shape for what it is. But
Yeah, I mean, I had an old Gibson like this that was in sort of bad shape like this, and I wish I still had it because I'd be like, yeah, I'd sell it as a haunted guitar. But like, this thing's haunted as shit. Make like $10,000 off of it. Come buy my haunted guitar. Why not? Why not do that? And John Hudson was number one. I thought John Hudson was leaving, and John Hudson. I pulled out the guitar, and now bro sticks around. I know the secret to your heart. It's the D. John Hudson loves the D. I think that should be. You should just put that as your Facebook, as your Facebook status. I love the D without any kind of context, and see if people figure it out.
the guitar has a story, and it's a pretty crazy story. Now, disclaimer, I don't know if this is true. I'm just reporting this to you from my point of view, and I cannot, usually when I get a story like this, I can confirm it somehow. I cannot confirm the story in any way. There's just nothing out there for me to confirm. So, here's the story. This kid was born in 1966, and he lives in this neighborhood, and the guy that winds up with the guitar lives in the same neighborhood, so they're kind of neighbors. They know each other. And this kid was always into the darker stuff. I'm sure he was into metal, which in those days, you got to realize that, Louie was outlawed on the radio at one point. Those were just different days, So, but the kid was like into Aleister Crowley and black magic and all kinds of stuff like that, And he died at like 13 on...
he died at 13 on October 31st. When do you want to bet? It's October 31st.
October 31st, 1979, as the story goes. And he was just on his bed. And
I used to consider myself sort of hellbilly, because I played a mix of bluegrass and heavy metal. So I called it hellbilly. The song I was playing just a minute ago is a hellbilly song I wrote. That one that starts off with this. And you go, who's been hiding bodies in the wall? Who's been hiding bodies in the walls? Who's been hiding bodies in the walls? Who's been hiding bodies in the walls? Years ago, so they say, this house became a tomb. Torn away from the vine while it was in bloom. Anyway, I won't play a whole song for you, but that's like I played some and then it goes into there's a heavy metal part with a distorted guitar, but yeah.
And he passed away, and no one ever had any answers for anything. Back in those days, they didn't they just, it's natural causes, people die and pass away, Okay.
Oh, so, y'all are actually answering the question. Who's been hiding bodies in the walls? In the walls, yeah. It's Gary Ridgway and Ted Bundy hid bodies in the woods. John Wayne Gacy hid bodies under the floor, which is like very telltale hard of him to do.
The guitar is on top of the kid when he passes away, like he was laying in bed playing guitar and just laid down and fell asleep and passed away. So, on the turntable, there was a 45 of Don't Fear the Reaper by Blue Oyster Cult playing on repeat, they say. Okay, so...
laying down some lore. Blue Oyster Cult playing.
It is what it is, Well...
If I die, I'm going to die with this. This, by the way, is my Fender Dreadnought. It's my favorite guitar. It's the one I keep mostly in standard tuning. It needs new batteries though. The tuner's dead. I got a tuner on my phone. That wasn't like a big deal or anything. But I also have a Big Black Johnson, which I keep in like a drop D tuning. Was the guitar made from Mustache Man's coffee table? Does that make it evil? There was actually, I had another stringed instrument to cover in this segment, and I took it off because it wasn't cursed quite enough. It was a bass guitar. That was the only bass I had on the list too, which sucks because I wanted to have a bass as well because I'm a bass player too, and I would have brought my bass in here and played that for you as well. But it was a bass that had belonged to like a Nazi guy, but not like a real like World War II Nazi, like a neo-Nazi from like the 70s or 80s or something. There was a Gary Ridgway around. We having serial killer puns. Don't Fear the Reaper didn't come out till like 76. Ooh, there's a poking a hole in your lore. When did he say that this happened? I didn't even catch the date he gave.
So the guy that wound up with the guitar, he became a professional musician, and he was out one day, and he seen the kid's mom because they were neighbors. They lived on the same block, and he went to talk to her, and wound up in conversation saying, "Oh, I'm a professional musician." Well, she says to him, "Hey, do you want that guitar that was my son's guitar because it's just sitting around my house not doing anything?" And
yes, a Big Black Johnson and drop D. What's so oh my about that, Ember? Use your words. What's wrong with my Big Black Johnson being in drop D?
Like we're musicians. We're like, sure, we'll take a guitar. We don't think nothing too much of it, So he takes the guitar and he takes it home, and he says that every once in a while the guitar just would strum itself. So he's a little freaked out by it. So he puts it in the closet. Well, then he leaves, and when he comes home, the guitar's laying on his bed.
If the guitar's going to strum itself, what chord do you think it should strum? If it's going to be spooky at night, okay? So just think about it this way, okay? You got a spooky guitar that's going to be spooky and strum itself in the dark while you're sleeping. So is it going to play? It's going to be a minor chord. It's almost well, maybe a seventh, but okay. So it could be an A minor. Spooky, right? A minor is pretty spooky. There's also D minor, which is a little more haunting. You do E minor. That'd probably be the easiest one to play because you can even take this hand off and you can play all but two strings to play an E minor. Right there's an E minor. So even without, the ghost would only need one hand to do this. Now, what I think is a spooky sounding chord, a lot of people might disagree, but I think a B7, right there, if it just strums itself. Somebody might not think that's spooky. To me it's spooky, but I think that maybe the D minor. But no, I'm going with the E minor. E minor is definitely the chord of Ghost. Definitely.
Well, he lives by himself. So how did the guitar get there? So he's a little freaked out. So eventually, after like 3 times, he says, of the guitar being on the bed out of the closet, he gently puts the guitar in the garbage. Doesn't think anything of it, I'm going to get rid of this guitar. He leaves, he comes home, the guitar's sitting in the corner now, where he would usually put it. So he says, oh, okay, he gets the goosebumps, he gets the chills. Time for the guitar to leave. So he takes his guitar over to the American Vintage Boutique.
That happened with the Furbies, too. Remember when we did the haunted Furbies? And they would throw the Furbies in the trash, and then they'd come back into the house the next day, and the Furbies would just be there. Haunted guitars are a lot like Furbies.
New Lebanon, Ohio, where they have the guitar and they put it up on Reverb and sell the guitar for $666 and $66.60 to ship it. What's kind of high on the shipping cost, if you ask me.
G minor for Ghost. Okay, I got a G minor, I believe. Yeah, it's right there. I don't know. G minor sounds too upbeat for me. Anything in G. I don't know, but it's also what I'm playing too. So, yeah, why not smash it like Kurt Cobain style?
That's a lot of money to ship a guitar. You know, like I can get guitar shipped from Germany for $60, so I don't have a lot of money to ship it. And $66.
How do you get way up here? Hold on.
And he leaves. He comes home. The guitar's sitting in the corner now. Oh, okay. You know, he gets the goosebumps. So he takes this guitar over to the American Vintage Boutique in New Lebanon, Ohio, where they have the guitar and they put it up on Reverb and sell the guitar for $666 and $66.60 to ship it. What's kind of high on the shipping cost, if you ask me. That's a lot of money to ship a guitar. You know, like I can get guitar shipped from Germany for $60, so I don't know why in America it cost me $66 to ship a guitar, but that's what it cost. So there's supposed to be a video of someone playing the guitar on YouTube. I have not been able to find it at this point yet. I'll finish this up and then get ready to post it, and then I'll go look for it some more. But I could not find it anywhere as of right now. I'll look some more, though. And, yeah, just a crazy guitar. I mean, you can see it's a K guitar, you know, from, like, the 50s. And, yeah. You know, would I buy the guitar? No. I don't want the haunted guitar. No. Besides the fact that I only own one acoustic guitar, and I don't want another one.
Yeah.
My acoustic guitars are more like...
I prefer acoustic guitars myself. I have had electric guitars, but I usually just get electric guitar to play like a diddly little melody or something like that.
Pickups in them and stuff. They're like, you know, hollow body guitars. That's my acoustic. I'm not a big acoustic guy. But, hey, in the comments, let me know. Would you buy this guitar? Now, I know you might not buy it for $666. Maybe you would. I don't know. Let me know your thoughts in the comments, okay? All right, if you like guitar news, give me a thumbs up. Do me a favor. Subscribe to this channel. I'm always bringing you guitar stories.
Hold on. That's not the one I wanted. This one's the one I wanted. Obviously, the Skeptical Inquirer is going to be a little more skeptical about it than... No, stop. What is this? That was not there a second ago. Here we go. Yeah, a terrifying artifact is currently in transit to Zach Baggins, the Haunted Museum. The Ghost Adventures host told Newsweek on Friday. Baggins is now the owner of the supposedly haunted acoustic guitar that could have been involved in the death of a teenager in 1979. I don't play the guitar very well, but you can rest assured that I will most definitely play this instrument and see if anything happens to me, Baggins wrote to Newsweek. Baggins purchased the guitar, the brand of which is unknown since the logo has been removed, though. Online music retailer Reverb for $666. Reverb's listing includes a macabre history for the instrument. Apparently, the seller was given the acoustic guitar, which is said to be cursed, by the mother of the deceased boy. The seller listed the instrument with A warning to future buyers. Please use extreme caution when conjuring phantasmic spirits that seem to be channeling through this iniquitous instrument, it read. We're going to be channeling some spirits. So I will haunt this guitar if anybody wants to buy it after my demise. If anybody wants to. Let's see. New Lebanon is out near Dayton. Okay. Thank you for proving my statement about people in Ohio being weird. Yeah, there's the Weird Valley runs through Ohio. There's a whole Weird Valley, the Ohio River Valley, basically. Just to a lesser extent, the Illinois River Valley too, as they make their way marching towards the Mississippi. I don't know if there's some kind of gas that they're releasing that causes people to see weird shit, but you know, it's the weird Ohio, and it goes on down into northern Kentucky. It's in Ohio, a little bit of Indiana, southern Illinois. Yeah. All right. So the original owner of the guitar was said to be a 13-year-old boy who was rumored to be a Satan worshiper. You know, when you're 13, and you're being edgy, I've been 13 before and been edgy before, so I know. The listing mentioned black magic, devil worship, and more before noting how the guitar was possibly involved in the boy's untimely death. His death has never been solved, but the calamitous kid was found lying on the floor with his guitar draped across him, apparently electrocuted, even though this is an acoustic guitar, the listing claims. Acoustic guitars can't electrocute you. They just can't. Are you going to do the humanoid flap, guys? Yeah, a Satan worshiper in the late 70s? Oh, yeah. You mean he had a heavy metal album, is what that means. According to the listing, the owner decided to sell the guitar because the haunted activity it seemed to bring. I've heard the strings discordantly ring out despite no one being near the guitar. Further, on 3 occasions, I put the guitar in my bedroom closet only to find the guitar on my bed when I returned home. And I live alone. The final straw occurred when the guitar levitated out of the trash can I had somberly placed it in. So if you find your guitar has moved from its normal spot to your bed, it means your guitar is craving the drop D. So you need to give that guitar some drop D in its F holes. Blah, 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 somberly in the trash. For Beggins, the first haunted musical instrument he has in his collection of morbid items, and that's saying a lot. Beggins has some impressive artifacts, plural, from serial killer cult leaders like Charles Manson and even Jack Kevorkian's death van. The unique guitar will fit right in because of its heavy rumored past. I was really blown away by the story behind the guitar and how the seller got the guitar directly from the boy's mother, Beggins wrote, because that province is why I jumped as fast as I could to buy this guitar. I was literally driving my car when the phone started blowing up about the guitar for sale, and I was shocked when I was able to buy it. Zach, my dude, do I have the comb for you? Yeah, got some here. Hold on. This comb was I got it from a swamp witch whose ghostly grandmother used it to untangle her locks while she slept. And she just got sick of it. So she gave it to me and said, "Hey, Bree, This comb is cursed to untangle your locks. So Zach Bagans, that's real Providence. Real Swamp Witch gave this to me. Let's be $664 for this. And free shipping. I will cover the shipping cost. Let's make a deal. Magical comb. Anyway. Visitors of the Haunted Museum can expect to see it in person later this year, because the musician who had the guitar experienced so much with it, including it levitating and playing by itself. I will display it securely in the Haunted Museum for close observation, Beggins wrote. Of course, the Haunted Museum's security cameras are ready to capture any freaky occurrences that follow the guitar to its new home. For more information, we go to their website. Let's go to their website real quick and see if we can see the guitar. Maybe there'll be a video of somebody playing it. Can we search? Where's the guitar? There's the Kevorkian van. Some James Dean stuff. A Demon House. Peggy the Doll. Peggy Got That Wet Wet. Devil's Rocking Chair. Over 30 rooms. Yeah, but tell me about the guitar. Tickets. Where is this place? Las Vegas? That's not too far from here. 10-hour drive, but still. About info. Let's see. Anything about the guitar? No. Blah. General questions. Yeah, nothing there. Yeah, I couldn't find too much on the guitar after his purchase of it. Late night flashlight ghost tour. Flashlight ghost tour. Haunted museum tickets. Merchandise. More. If y'all see any place where I'm supposed to click and I'm just not seeing it, that talks about their different exhibits, tell me. There's career opportunities, though. I want to work here. We are currently recruiting tour guides, security personnel, and gift shop retail associates. If you are interested in a position with us, please send your resume to hiring at the Oh, I might do this. Send them my resume. Say I'm the world's leading cryptozoologist. And see if they'll give me a job. I would be cool living in Vegas and working at the Haunted Museum. Come on, that'd be awesome, right? I know I'm a skeptic, but I would still give the tours if I was a believer. But anyway, where were we? Okay, Guy already told us the story and went to their website. Okay. So, Skeptical Inquirer did a breakdown of this. Column by Kenny Biddle. Kenny Biddle's on YouTube as well. I watch him sometimes on Friday nights. But the Satanic Six String. Let's see. I first heard of the Satanic Six String from an episode of Squaring the Strange, a podcast that approaches strange claims from a skeptical point of view. During the segment, What Are You Skeptical of This Week? Co-host and musician Pascual Romero related a story involving an alleged haunted guitar that came with dramatic details and backstory. This haunted guitar was covered by mainstream media after it was recently purchased by my old buddy Zach Bagans for his not-so-haunted museum. I found the story interesting, so I decided to take a closer look. I found the original listing on Reverb under the heading Haunted Paranormal Ghost Guitar, which we just looked at. It's right here. Right here's the listing. This is on Reverb. Okay. The description read, a kid that lived in my street when I was growing up, was rumored to be into devil worshippers, seances, Aleister Crowley, black magic, and other dark endeavors of the spirit world. I later learned that this neophyte necromancer was born in June of 1966 and died tragically on Halloween, October 31st, 1979. He was just turned 13 years old. His death was never been solved, but the calamitous kid was found lying on his bed with his guitar draped across him, apparently electrocuted, even though this is an acoustic guitar. Additionally, when the damnable corpse of the soulless stooge of Satan was eventually discovered, a 45 record of Blue Oyster Cult's Don't Fear the Reaper was playing repeatedly on the Metastophelian Moppets GE Wildcat record charger. Yeah, that was very poetic. The style of the story reminds me of something narrated by Vincent Price, and the over-the-top dramatic language and flourishes attest more to a creativity of the seller than the validity of the story, and suggest this spooky backstory is likely more fiction than fact. For example, the seller refers to the body of the deceased teenager as the damnable corpse of the soulless stooge of Satan. Such a description would be considered by most as grossly inappropriate, especially given that the seller tells next, years later, I ran into the defunct boy's mother, herself propagating practitioner of the pagan arts. And when informed that I was a professional guitarist, she offered me her devilish daisy-pushing son's git fiddle. The seller goes on to describe some of the paranormal activity surrounding the guitar. Since I've owned the guitar, I've heard the strings discordantly ring out despite no one being near the guitar. Further, on 3 occasions, I put the guitar into my bedroom closet only to find the gear on my bed when I returned home. And I live alone. Doom, doom, doom. Lives alone. The final straw occurred when I saw the guitar levitate out of the trash can I had somberly placed it in. Unfortunately and predictably, there isn't any video of the levitating instrument or any evidence provided besides the description. However, you can listen to the not so spooky sound of the guitar on the track Leave All Your Cares Behind on the seller's YouTube channel, Mira Baker 2019. Oh, wonder if we can find that. Let's see here. Yeah, I don't know. It's not, I'm worried about listening to something that might be licensed, though, so we won't listen to that now. I did a quick search and found a Newsweek article announcing that Zach Bagans buys $666 satanic six-string haunted guitar was supposedly killed a teen. The article repeated sections from the listing's description as well as some comments from the new owner. Plagiarist Zach Bagans. Bagans is quoted saying, I was really blown away by the story behind the guitar and how the seller got the guitar directly from the boy's mother because of the provenance and why I jumped as fast as I could to buy the guitar. Bagans uses the word provenance in what really caught my attention. He's telling us that because the guitar came from an unknown mother of an unknown son and was now being sold by a musician, that somehow establishes good provenance. It's not, I assure you. Provenance is the chronology of ownership of an item, work of art, original manuscript, etc., and is a practice to help to authenticate that items, records, receipts, and photos, videos of the item at the location or within a person's possessions can establish provenance. Historians and researchers are required to do due diligence when authenticating items to be reasonably sure that the item is what it's claimed to be. One person telling a story about 2 completely unknown people is not authenticating anywhere or anything whatsoever. I agree. I thought perhaps Bagans, surely wanting to carefully screen out any inauthentic items from his haunted museum display, had gained additional information from the seller, particularly the identity of the mother and son. I tracked down the seller of the guitar, a professional musician by the name of Eddie Mirabaker. After introducing myself and explaining I was looking deeper into the story, I asked the name of the boy. Mirabaker responded, mentioning he was a very big fan of Skeptical Inquirer and had been reading it for years. Although he didn't answer my question about the boy, he directed me to an article about the guitar listing posted on their AV Club website. I read through the article and noticed that towards the end, the author asked whether Marabanks thinks the guitar is actually haunted. His response is quite revealing. It isn't so much what I believe or not, but rather what the reader believes that's important. The quote is very telling, and I think it's meant to be a subtle hint that the story may not be entirely true. But by putting emphasis on what the reader believes, he was able to avoid answering the question directly. It's a common practice when one doesn't want to divulge information they would otherwise prefer to keep quiet. I followed up with Mirabaker, asking again the name of the mystery unknown boy or mother. I also asked if he could provide any links to the newspaper article that covered such mysterious unsolved death of a teenager, because it was said to have occurred on Halloween night. I have no doubt it would have been a very popular story that could be traced. In fact, I was already searching for the event myself. As we traded emails, Mirabaker initially stated he had no way to contact the mother who gifted him the guitar. Also, he did not wish to reveal the identity of the mother, thus unleashing unwanted notoriety and destroying her privacy. I could understand that an unsolicited media attention can often be overwhelming for a normal private person. However, Mirabaker mentioned something that caught my attention concerning the buyer, which he had not named yet. He stated, "Out of respect for the buyer's interest, I prefer not to address the facts present in the guitar listing. I will say, however, I am a pretty creative guy." How is that not a confession? How is that not a confession? Let's see. How long is this article? Yeah, I think I'm going to finish reading this article because we have other haunted guitars to move on to. But let's just say that this seems like a bust to me. I think that the guitar seller turned a hell of a profit on this old busted beater guitar. I mean, maybe it's worth something, but I don't know if it was worth $666 in used poor condition. You know, but moving on to our next guitar. This one actually has some videos with it though, guys. So had to go to TikTok to find it though. So we got this band called 7 Year Witch, and their drummer is a guitarist too. Most drummers are, most drummers are guitarists and guitarists are drummers. Y'all play together, and you jam and you write stuff together. But he bought this old guitar and alleges that it's haunted. So let's see what he has to offer. Can I full screen this? Or is this as full as it goes? I guess that's as full as it goes. All right.
Issue with ghosts or any weird, unexplainable stuff. I've never had an issue with ghosts or any weird, unexplainable stuff in my house. But I bought a guitar the other week at a garage sale from this old lady down the street. And every time I pick it up or strum it or play it, really weird shit happens, and I'll show you. It's some Lotus, like very 80s looking guitar, and every time I strum, like that, shit like that happens every time I mess with this thing. Shit like that.
So there was that. Let's watch that stuff again.
I've never had an issue with ghosts or any weird, unexplainable or play it, really, and I'll show you.
So
it's some
Lotus guitar, All right. The strings are all nasty looking. But at first I thought maybe it was a short that was causing the lights to flicker was what he was going to be talking about. Then that cup fell over and I'm like, okay, so this is woo.
Lotus, like very 80s looking guitar. And every time I strum, like that. Shit like that happens every time I mess with this thing. Shit like that.
But it continues on.
I've never had an issue with ghosts or any weird, unexplainable...
Haunted guitar from garage sale update. It trusts me now. Still WTF.
Yeah, so that's his story. That's where it ends, too. This is like the most recent update. It was from January 21st. So, we don't know what's going on now. Let's see. The ghost has been waiting for this moment to shine. I tried more videos about haunted... I tried to find more videos, I guess. Yeah, I need to know more about this. Seth A. Burden. Do you have more details? Haunted guitar, come on. But that's where we ended. So we'll have to follow up on this story if anything more comes of it. Right? That was the 7-year witch, and it looks like some basic poltergeist style shenanigans going on here.
Very 80s looking guitar. And every time I strum...
You got flickering lights.
Shit like that.
You got flickering lights, and you got, which is easy to do, and you got stuff falling over, which is simple pull string. Now the drumsticks, I mean, honestly, with him being off screen like he is here.
I've never had an issue with ghosts or any...
Date. It trusts me now.
With that being off string over here, you could bump those drumsticks right now. And then
still WTF.
Like there's nothing there that looks like paranormal because they didn't start moving like off. They were off screen when they started moving, right? So, but we'll follow up with it and see what happens. All right, next guitar. Next guitar is this creepy 19th century guitar curse. Let's see. It's pretty. It's like a parlor guitar. England's Bodleian Library, the main research library at the University of Oxford, and one of the oldest libraries in Europe, is home to a rather unique guitar. The instrument, which is displayed alongside an eerie coffin-shaped guitar case, is linked to Frankenstein author Mary Shelley. Not to mention a few centuries worth of speculation and controversy. Mary's husband, English poet Percy, like the fish, he's a perch, Percy Bysshe Shelley, who I think is that. Let me know if I'm saying that middle name wrong. Who helped edit Frankenstein or the Modern Prometheus, Mary Shelley's popular Gothic novel published in 1818. Drowned just a few weeks after presenting the guitar to his muse, Mary's good friend, Jane Williams. And they were like swingers, Percy and Mary were. Like, it's pretty well known that, they actually wrote this at a swingers retreat. Is where she wrote Frankenstein, because it was with, like, in 1818, there was the Year Without a Summer. And they went there to summer, and it was cold and nasty, so they ended up staying inside the whole time and wrote novels in between their orgies. When Percy gave the guitar to Jane, it was accompanied by a lengthy poem in which he supposedly placed his soul into the guitar, reserving the best tone for Jane, and answering only to the hands of perfect skill. Jane kept the guitar for her entire life and played it often. But does the guitar really contain Percy's soul? And is it just a coincidence that he died soon after giving the guitar and poem to Jane? To be honest, if I gave a guitar poem combo to my wife's best friend, I probably wouldn't live too long either. Regardless, the guitar earned a reputation for being cursed. The creepy coffin-shaped case adds a mystery, along with these lines from Percy's poem to Jane. And now, alas, the poor sprite is imprisoned for some fault of his in a body like a grave. Yeah, we're going to listen to the complete poem after we finish reading this article about it, but I think that might be, yeah, anyway. Yeah, but the people who say shit like, oh, if I gave my wife's best friend, they don't understand the relationship that Percy and Jane and Mary had. They just don't understand it. And Lord Byron was involved. And yeah, there was, that polyamory is not like a new concept, right? People have been doing it for years, centuries, millennia even. Yeah, we'll listen to that after we're done with reading this one, though. Okay, so in 1816, Percy translated Johann Wolfgang von Goeth's Faust, yeah, I like Faust, into English from German, of course. That's the 1808 play that partially responsible for the tried and true man sells his soul to the devil cultural motif. Percy translated Faust while Mary was writing Frankenstein, a story almost identical to Faust, but from an atheist perspective. I don't see any... How? Frankenstein and Faust are, as far as I'm concerned, are very, very different narratives. Yeah, I don't know. There's, other than being gothic horror, I guess. This also was the age of Niccolo Paganini, the world's greatest violin virtuoso, who, legend has it, made a pact with the devil, just like Robert Johnson. Mary Shelley saw Paganini's performance in performed July 18th, 1831, after, like, a full decade after she wrote her story. As her diary records, I heard Paganini today. He is divine. He had the effect of giving me hysterics, yet I could pass my life listening to him. Nothing was ever so sublime. So she liked his music. That's nice. Whether or not Paganini met with Mary or Percy, isn't clear, but they all would have been aware of each other. And it's easy to let your imagination run wild. Was the Deal with the Devil story just a clever marketing ploy by Paganini and a great basis for Mary and Percy to create what is considered the birth of science fiction? Perhaps when Percy and Mary were researching Faust, they stumbled upon a way to make a pact with the devil and paid the price. Okay, so how does Jason Becker fit into this? Wikipedia lists Becker in the top spot under notable works inspired by compositions of Paganini. Becker's career was cut short by ALS right at the point of his big break. Fans have speculated that Becker, who studied Paganini's work, also sold his soul to play the way he did. I started researching because I played on Jason's behalf for the launch of his Carvin Keisel JB24 numbered guitar and Seymour Duncan's Perpetual Burn humbucker. When I shared this tale with Jason, a dear friend of mine, this was his reply. Wow, this is all really interesting. Yeah, I've seen that I am listed as one of Paganini's disciples. I remember before meeting Marty Friedman, and still for a while in Cacophony, I learned a bunch of Paganini's 24 Caprices. I really liked how he had mastered his craft. There was something I admired about how his playing made people feel in awe or, gasp. I also heard it turned some women on. I wanted to do that too. I don't blame you. A lot of people get into being musicians because they want to turn women on. That's pretty standard. Google says Bice, which is pronounced Bish. Percy Bish Shelley. Okay. I should start telling people that I did sell my soul to the devil. It would be a much more interesting story than just a practicing kid. Plus, that would have been a ripoff deal, huh? Only a couple of years of good devil level of playing. So there is Jason saying he just wanted to turn women on. No soul selling involved, of course. If he is one and I or anyone else had made a deal with the devil, we wouldn't tell a soul. Does this old guitar contain Percy's soul? I don't know. Does it answer sweetly in flatter hands of perfect skill? They won't let me play it to find out. Yeah. So, all right, let's go listen to the song or poem.
With a Guitar to Jane by Percy Bysshe Shelley. Ariel to Miranda, take this slave of music for the sake of him who is the slave of thee, and teach it all the harmony in which thou canst, and only thou, make the delighted spirit glow, till joy denies itself again, and too intense is turned to pain. For by permission and command of thine own Prince Ferdinand, poor Ariel sends this silent token of more than ever can be spoken. Your guardian spirit, Ariel, who from life to life must still pursue your happiness, for thus alone can Ariel ever find his own. From Prospero's enchanted cell, as the mighty verses tell, to the throne of Naples he lit you o'er the trackless sea, flitting on your prow before, like a living meteor.
Flitting on like a living meteor.
When you die, the silent moon in her interlunar swoon is not sadder in her cell than deserted Ariel. When you live again on earth, like an
I think you're supposed to write when it says cell like that, and then Ariel, the next is supposed to say Ariel to make it mesh better. I'm being
seen
pedantic,
star
sorry.
At birth, Ariel guides you o'er the sea of life from your nativity. Many changes have been run since Ferdinand and you begun your course of love, and Ariel still has tracked your steps and served your will. Now in humbler, happier lot, this is all remembered not. And now, alas, the poor sprite is imprisoned for some fault of his in a body like a grave. From you he
That's
only
the line right there.
dares to crave for his service and his sorrow, a smile today, a song tomorrow.
Yeah, this version of Under the Sea is not quite as catchy as the one that actually ended up in the Disney movie.
The artist who this idol wrought to echo all harmonious thought felled a tree while on the steep the woods were in their winter sleep, rocked in that repose divine on the wind-swept Apennine, and dreaming some of autumn past, and some of spring approaching fast, and some of April buds and showers, and some of songs in July bowers, and all of love. And so this tree, oh that such our death may be, died in sleep and felt no pain, to live in happier form again. From which, beneath heaven's fairest star, the artist wrought his loved guitar, and taught it justly to reply
L'Oreal, or Uriel,
to all who question skilfully in language gentle as thine own, whispering in enamoured tone sweet oracles of woods and dells, and summer winds in sylvan cells. For it had learnt all harmonies of the plains and of the skies, of the forests and the mountains, and the many-voiced fountains, the clearest echoes of the hills.
This poem isn't nearly as spooky as I was hoping it would be. It's kind of like fapping to Jane, which is fine. I mean, I was hoping it'd be something spookier. The only spooky line was that grave line.
Hills, the softest notes of falling rills, the melodies of birds and bees, the murmuring of summer seas, and pattering rain and breathing dew, and airs of evening. And it knew that seldom heard mysterious sound, which driven on its diurnal round as it floats through boundless day, our world enkindles on its way. All this it knows, but will not tell to those who cannot question well the spirit that inhabits it.
So he does talk about spirit inhabiting the guitar, though.
It talks according to the wit of its companions, and no more is heard than has been felt before by those who tempt it to betray these secrets of an elder day. But sweetly as its answers will flatter hands of perfect skill, it keeps its highest, holiest tone, for one beloved friend alone.
Well, hopefully, I'll get to play that guitar, and then we'll find out if I have the mastery and skill needed to play Jane's guitar. Think I should play Jane's guitar? Alright, so we had, of course, the 666 6 string, right? Then we had the Percy Shelley guitar. We had Homie with his ghostly videos with stuff moving around his guitar. Now, let us move on to another set of strings here. The Devil's Fiddle. Yeah. It's kind of the Porcalafella. I guess is how you say that. But we'll I'm not gonna watch this whole playing it thing, but this guy tells a little bit about it.
Hey, hi, and welcome. Alright, what you're looking at here is my Czechoslovakian copy of the 1713 Stradivari. Or is it? Now, I bought this thing a couple of years ago, about 2 or 3 years ago, I guess, maybe less, for about 75, 80 bucks or 85 bucks as a fixer-upper. It really didn't need anything. It was pretty much just put in new strings and refit the bridge and refit the pegs, and everything was good to go. And it sounds okay. Now, it didn't really have any real problems with it. The sound post was on the wrong side. That was the only thing that was kind of odd about it. But other than that, it has a soft kind of sound, and it's been kind of playing, the sound, the more you play an older violin, it seems, I guess, when they sit for a long time, this thing was stuffed in a basement from a Luther, so it was, all the dust and everything gets into the pores of the wood, so it takes time to get all that, to loosen all that up, but the sound of it comes out more and more every time you play it, kind of thing, and over years' time it actually sounds okay. Although I have cheap strings on it right now.
Get to the curse, guy.
It's okay. But however, strangely enough, it's one of the best violins I've ever played.
Stradivarius is cursed. Stradivarius is cursed. Let's do it. I get that your replica is neat. I want to hear what it's cursed, though.
In the sense of for fitting my hand. Maybe not the best sounding one, and I'm definitely anything but I'm a guitar player who plays violin, and most people can pick that out during my playing. I've been awarded the honor of the Screeching Cat masterpiece, that type of thing. And I never thought much of this little violin other than I enjoy playing it, and I've had no problem with it.
It's cute.
And it seems to do everything it's supposed to do. And it's not a bad looking little violin. But then I was informed of something very dark and sinister.
Yeah, the 1713 violin is cursed. Let's do it.
And I, from the making of this video, about last night or the night before, I received an email.
Curses!
And this was kind of a heated warning about the cursed 1713 Stradivari.
We actually have a violin in the other room too. I don't play violin. Well, I I can noodle on a violin, but I'm not good at it or anything.
Various. And I'll just read it for you.
It's funny because I actually play the violin like a mandolin, not like a guitar. Like I think when I put my, because the tuning's the same. It's got, I mean, a mandolin has 8 strings and a violin has 4, but the mandolin has those 8 strings doubled up, so you hold them with one finger anyway, and they're tuned exactly the same, at least in standard tuning for both instruments. So your hand positions are the same. There's no frets on violin, so you got to kind of like feel it out. But if you know how to play mandolin, you know your hand positions on mandolin, it does transfer okay to violin.
The letter goes to read like this, or email, should I say. Yes, the violin is entirely authentic. It is one of the most earliest and worst examples of Stradivarius's classical models, which is to say, a masterpiece compared to any other Cremonies maker of the time. And it's worth a considerable sum, although selling it which will surely result in calamity. Do not worry about the fittings, the pegs, fingerboard, tailpiece, saddle, button, bridge, etc., as they were added much later. The neck was modernized in the mid-1800s by the ill-fated luthier and collector Teresio, whose fate is legendary.
There was a point in time where I wanted to be a luthier. I would have been it would have been fun. I think I could have been good at being a luthier. I have built a few guitars. I think the ones I built are with Ian. The two that I built. Well, I built a guitar and I built a mandolin. And I was in the middle of building a bass when, yeah. Anyway, I don't have it anymore to finish it, but it was going to be a Necronomicon bass. It was really cool. It was going to have the face and everything on it, like in the Evil Dead Necronomicon.
It was one of the 2 violins found in his hands in his cramped apartment in Turin. There was actually a race to destroy this violin when he died. The obsessive collector Freemason and Satanist Jean-Baptiste Villeneuve, inventor of the diabolical octobass, rescued it alongside arguably the most famous violin in existence.
I keep wanting to play Ori and the Blind Forest for some reason.
1916 Messiah Salabu Stradivarius, which is on display to this day in the Ashmolean Museum of Oxford, or at Oxford. Passibet Anne was the name of Stradivarius's faithless third wife, who tortured him with her public affair with Joseph Granardi del Deju, whom she considered a superior maker. Antonio Stradivarius, or one of his sons...
Imagine your wife cheating on you because someone else was a better violin maker than you. Like, that's her standard. She's like, you know what? You make great violins that are going to be remembered throughout history, but I like this guy's violin better, so I'm going to fuck him. Now, that's why consent and open communication is important in a relationship. No one ever has to cheat. If you cheat, you choose to.
Bitterly dedicated some of his lesser works to her in a fit of irony driven by economic necessity in his later fits of madness. Marked by his creation of the long model 1713 was the year she died. This violin is cursed and should be dealt with carefully.
It's cursed,
the only
I tell
other
you.
1730 Stradivarius in existence belonged to the doomed composer Joshua Hancock, who drowned in his bathtub after learning of the return of Halley's Comet in 1758. The Heaven's Gate cultists, who committed mass suicide in 1997, based their entire philosophy on the demented composers of this tortured genius. Banned by the church and only surviving in fragmented form as the occult opera known as The King in Yellow, this violin was thought lost.
Have you ever read The King in Yellow? Have you seen the yellow sign? I guess I should ask. Have you seen the yellow sign?
After Villeneuve's death at the hands of an assassin hired by the notorious London firm A.B. and Hill and Sons, whose bows are coveted to this day. Under no circumstances should you attempt to play it, especially tuned between A29 and A44.
Well, every time I've ever tried to play a violin in the bathtub, I've drowned. So, I mean, that makes sense, AR.
A41.2 seek professional help, as merely abandoning, selling, or destroying the violin will result in dire consequences. Remove
dire consequences.
Display at once, as there are orders of violinists in the world who would use it to the darkest ends. Avoid the damned Mercer and his ilk. There is a professor at Miskatonic University in Arkham, Massachusetts, named Derek Stanford, who may be able to help.
Hold on, wait a second. Did you just say
Arkham, Massachusetts. There is a professor at Miskatonic University in Arkham, Massachusetts.
Miskatonic University at Arkham's not real, my friend. It's Lovecraftian fiction. It's not a real place. It's like that's like the Necronomicon.
Name Derek Stanford, who may be able to help. I am truly sorry for you. Best of luck. Yeah, so that's the email that they left me. So kind of creepy, but very fascinating no matter how you look at it. As far as so far, I don't think the violin has brought me bad luck. And is it the real thing? I don't think it's the real thing.
Well, you just said the real thing is in a museum, so you're sure it's not the real thing. Let's not split hairs about it.
It looks a little too new and shiny, but then again, if it was cursed, maybe it would have some sort of youth spell on it or something like that, which would keep it from looking like it was aged when it's really aged when it's not looking aged, although it is aged. That's confusing. But anyway, no, a fun little tale. I didn't know the history of the 1713 Stradivari, and I have one. This did come from the Czech Republic, so I don't know if it was ever made its way to the Czech Republic, but if it did, this one did come from there, and I bought it in a little in the capital of Canada, Ottawa.
It is a cute little violin
shop there, and yeah, I still have it. I was going to sell it, but I don't know. It's like I kind of I guess maybe the curse is that now there's a story behind the 1713 Stradivarius. Now I know Stradivarius built approximately about 11 or 12, nearly 1,200 instruments. But yeah, it just goes with the legend of the story. I was not aware of the curse of the 1713 Stradivari. So if anything bad happens to me, though, just a little caveat: blame the violin. Maybe my bad playing. It's not.
Yeah, maybe if something bad happens to me, you can blame this guitar. All right, yeah. So I think from here on, he goes out. He just starts playing it, and I no offense to him, he's not a violin player. I wouldn't be a good violin player either. So I'm gonna leave that at that. But yes, we've been through some cursed strings today, haven't we, friends? Haven't we? Setting that aside for the moment to close out the show. And tell everybody thank you for sticking around for this little installment of Weekend Weird, where we look at cursed and haunted, demonic stringed instruments. We had mostly guitars. We had one violin, though. Or folklore about a violin, I should say. I hope you enjoyed this little segment. If you've ever had a cursed instrument, or you would think there's other instruments that are cursed that I should cover, maybe cursed horns, maybe cursed pianos, whatever you got in mind, let me know in the comments down below. But I have to have examples of them, or else it's hard to put together a segment. Even this segment, I couldn't find videos of all of them and I couldn't find any videos of any of them being played. But yeah. Thank you so much for sticking with our Weekend Weird. Please remember to be kind, take care, and we'll see you next time. All right, now if you showed up for the thumbnail, which is that mentions the Wobbegong shark, stick around because we got that coming up here in Breeze a Bestiary in just a moment. But before I do anything like that, I'm going to take a little intermission, break up the show a little bit. Don't leave and see that we've already lost a bunch of people. That's okay. I understand some people don't like the Breeze Bestiary or don't really care about it. But regardless, yeah, regardless, if you're sticking around, we got like this is just a short 10 to 15 minute segment that I usually wrap the show up with Breeze Beast Theory. So if you're down, stick around and I will be back with you momentarily.
This legend raises a lovely problem. How does it come about that the face of a warrior is cut on the carapace of a Japanese crab? How could it be? The answer seems to be that humans made this face. But how? Like many other features, the patterns on the back or carapace of this crab are inherited. But among crabs, as among humans, there are many different hereditary lines. Now, suppose purely by chance, among the distant ancestors of this crab, there came to be one which looked just a little bit like a human face. Long before the battle, fishermen may have been reluctant to eat a crab with a human face. In throwing it back into the sea, they were setting into motion a process of selection. If you're a crab, and your carapace is just ordinary, the humans are going to eat you. But if it looks a little bit like a face, they'll throw you back, and you'll be able to have lots of nice little baby crabs that all look just like you. As many generations passed of crabs and fisher folk alike, the crabs with patterns that look most like a samurai face preferentially survived. Until eventually, there was produced not just a human face, not just a Japanese face, but the face of a samurai warrior. All this has nothing to do with what the crabs might want. Selection is imposed from the outside. The more you look like a samurai, the better your chances of survival. Eventually, there are a lot of crabs that look like samurai warriors.
All right, my beauties and bees. Thank you so much for sticking around for the end of the show, because we're about to dive right into the salty, briny deep and talk about some Wobbegong sharks. What is a Wobbegong shark? A tasseled Wobbegong shark. Well, kind of made a splash, I mean that in the sincerest way possible, on the internet just a few years back, and people were posting it all over these fun little memes. Today I learned there's such thing as a tasseled Wobbegong shark, and I needed to share it with you all. And it shows this little googly eyes and flappy mouth and like fake plant frills and stuff. And it's like, I love that the ocean is 85% filled with weird little freaks, which is adorable. It keeps going. It kept going. There memes of this guy just blew up. Say hello to the tasseled Wobbegong shark, my spirit animal. Barbecue chips are proof of God's love. Nutty Buddy bars are better than real friends. I love that there's some pie left. Tacos are basically salad. Burp. Let's drink mayonnaise. Yeah. I mean, it would. People started doing all sorts of fun stuff to this. I swear I'm Wobbegong. And I tried to just ignore this after the first few months because this is sure as fuck not a Wobbegong shark. And I wanted to point that out. It's not a Wobbegong. This fish is a monkfish. Very, very, very different. You are closer related to this monkfish than a shark is. That's for true. But monkfish are cool. And they feel a neat ecological niche. Let's look at a monkfish. I have to mute it. I don't know if this is the one with the music. No. Okay. There's a monkfish just laying there on the bottom of the ocean, bottom of the sea. There's a fish on the bottom of the sea. And this is a monkfish. And you can see his big, cute, derpy frown mouth. And just froggy eyes on top of his head. And he's cute. He is cute. With his sad little face. But he's not a shark. Not even remotely a shark. He's close related. The close relatives of like the deep sea anglerfish and stuff. Frogfish. Monkfish just lay on the bottom. They got fringy shit hanging off of them. Got big frowny faces. Needly little teeth. Froggy eyes. And it does have the lure. That's the lure right there for this guy to lure in his prey. So, cool fish, monkfish, not Wobbegong shark. So if you see this meme or any memes with this guy that identifies him as a Wobbegong shark, you can correct them in the comments so I can stop having to do it. That's what I'm doing here. Basically, I'm amassing an army to say, stop calling monkfish Wobbegong sharks. Now, if you're interested and you really want to know, this is what a Wobbegong shark looks like. Yeah, this one's the one with the music. So, they have the fringy stuff. They do have the fringy stuff, right? They have the eyes up top, too. The main thing you can tell the difference is their mouth is on the underside of towards the very front, but it's on the underside, whereas the monkfish's mouth is on top. Right? And you're also going to find Wobbegong sharks in more shallow coastal waters, whereas a monkfish lives more at the drop off, or deep in deeper waters, or on the edge of deeper waters. There's other ways to tell too. You can see how many gills, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, that this guy has, whereas the bony fish generally only have the one exposed gill. But the things they have in common, I get. The eyes on top, the fringy stuff, all that goodness. But they're very distinct and different looking animals, right? Even though they have the eyes on top, their eyes on top are much smaller and more sharky, I guess is the best way to describe them. Whereas the monkfishes are more froggy and stick up higher. Now, you might notice when you look at a Wobbegong, maybe you don't notice, I do, but that they have a similar body plan to a whale shark, and that's because whale sharks are actually carpet sharks that have evolved to be giant pelagic filter feeders. The Wobbegongs are carpet sharks, which means they basically spend most of their life laying on the bottom of the sea. But again, warmer, shallower water, generally speaking. And they are omnivorous. I won't call them detritivores, but to some extent they're detritivores. Something like a catfish, I guess, would be the best way to describe their lifestyle. Whereas a monkfish is definitely more predatory. and once to lure in prey, and they have the antenna thing that'll flip and flick, but they won't do that when a human's shining a flashlight on them on camera. They'll flip their little antenna thing back. So that's mainly what I wanted to cover today, because I was so tired of seeing this fish specifically presented as this image of this fish specifically presented as a Wobbegong, because it's not. It doesn't look like a Wobbegong very much. To some extent, I get the confusion, but there's there's ways to tell. Again, froggy eyes up on top and a smiley face up on top. Their mouth points upwards. Wobbegong shark's mouth points down and forward. Best way to tell them apart. Anyway, yeah, so that has been Bree's bestiary on this topic of the Wobbegong shark or the goosefish. Like this segment could be considered to be about either of them. I'm actually a big fan of goosefish, or any member of that frogfish family, the anglers and stuff with their little thing. Yeah. All right. Thank you for sticking with me for Bree's bestiary. Please remember to be kind, take care, and we will see you next time. Has it been 3 hours already? Oh my gosh. I think maybe it was the guitar segment that drug on so long. Man, this was a long episode. I'm glad we were able to get through it all, though. We covered all the stuff that I had on the board, which is good. Any thoughts on what you want to see on the polls for next week while we're here? I don't want to put Resurrection Mary on here yet, because we just did Woman in White today, and she's kind of adjacent to that. At some point we will have to just do a historical segment on Resurrection Mary. But the stuff that's going to be returning to the polls for Cryptic Corner are the Beast of Busco, the Yeti, the Urine, and the Immortal Count. And things returning to the Week in Weird are going to be the Knights of Tartaria, Sky Trumpets, and Charming the Serpent. So make sure you get out there and vote. Vote on these polls, because you pick the direction the show takes. It's so funny, though, because like last week on the polls, both things were picked were alien stuff, the Space Wars, and the Pleiadians. They were both like alien related. And then this week's on the polls, it was ghostly related, the accursed strings and the Lady in White. Isn't that ironic? So will that trend continue? Will we continue to see the same style of topic covered? Because I mean, that makes themed episodes, which are fun. You know, because we had like alien themed episode, a ghost themed episode, and what have you. Yeah. Anyway, I appreciate everybody for sticking around and hanging out with me. You don't have to, so I'm glad you did. Get your Saturday started right with Live from the Hive. This is the way the weekend's supposed to go. All right. Well, until next week, remember to be kind, take care, and see you next time.
This shit, bro. Oh, hell no. No. Man. Hey, bro. Hey, bro, fuck all that. Hey, Prime, fuck all that shit, bro. Man, fuck, hey, fuck all that. Hey, Prime. Hey, you got me, fool. You got me, right?
Bro, what's up, bro?
Hey. What the
hug, yeah, hug me.
What the fuck?
Hug me. I want you to hug
hey,
me.
what?
What's up?
Man, what the fuck that? Hold on, bro. I think he got a knife. Knife. Shit. Shit.
With all the noise, pseudoscience, and political rhetoric clogging the airwaves about transgender people, it can be difficult to understand what's really happening and what's really true. good news, everyone! Welcome to The Transpositions, your compass in the rugged landscape of transgender issues. Here, we strive to be the beacon of authenticity, providing a platform that amplifies the voices and experiences of the transgender community. From breaking news to in-depth features to breaking down the real science, we are committed to fostering understanding, empathy, and empowerment for all individuals across the gender spectrum. Join us as we navigate the complexities, celebrate the triumphs, and advocate for the rights of transgender people worldwide. Together, we can redefine boundaries, challenge stereotypes, and champion inclusivity. Subscribe today. The link is in the description.